Crypto Pirates, welcome to your Discourse Syndicate, and it's your FN Hangout. Welcome, Crypto Pirates, Hexicans, Big Peppers, Hodl Doggers, Conrad Zensters, Cabana Kickits, Hexo Homers, Silver the Anecdote, Junkies, what else? Quant Gangsters, Yosh Balls Deep Crew, the Coffee Drinkers, all you knights of the Crypto Round Table, the Trevon Hang-Ons, the Matty All-Ins, and Serena Simps. How is everybody doing tonight? Welcome to your effing hangout tonight. It's time for all of you to join us. Come on to your stream and speak your piece, talk shit, do whatever it is you want. This is your stream. The link is in the chat. People are coming in already. I've thrown it out into the Hex Telegram room. They've all got it. I even put it, I think I put it in the dev chat tonight. I threw it everywhere. I'm usually kind of respectful for all the other channels and don't throw it all over the place, but fuck it. Why not? I guess I will. All of the cutthroats have it. Don't see anybody yet. Knuckles is out and hanging with his family tonight, so he won't be joining us. DC is still licking his wounds from his course that he put out. He may show up this evening. I talked to him just yesterday, so he might show up. But this is your show. Come on in. We've got people coming. Let me say hi to the chat room real quick, see who's all in here. Man, I am just freaking loving all the content that's coming out. I'm learning so much. You know, freaking between coffee and whales and the freaking Knights of the Crypto Roundtable, man, I mean, there is some serious smart motherfuckers in Hex. That's all I can say. You guys are just so lucky to have the group of people that you have in here. And I'm just floored every time we get to go out there and drive around, you know, for work and whatnot. And either I'm listening to you guys in the chat room over at the Telegram chat room, which is sometimes, hey, some of y'all, you gotta freaking up your game. There's some serious shit being talked about in there. You guys are horrible. I thought that the chat room was bad every once in a while. Goodness, the freaking voice chat. You guys can't even freaking erase what you're saying. So it's like, fuck, shit just spills right out of your mouths. But anyway, either I'm listening to that or I'm listening to a stream and catching up. And it's like all day long Hex content, amazing charting, amazing freaking information on what Hex is doing, where it's going, what it means to crypto. I mean, just freaking awesome. You guys are doing a great job. But anyway, what's up, El Hexadente? First in the chat room this evening. Oh no. Let's see. Crypto Gains Club 369. Welcome. Pay Me Hex. Hey, Pay Me Hex. What's up? Crypto King is in the house, and I think he's going to be joining us this evening too. Johnny No Good. Always good to have you. Flames. Hey, Pulse. Yep. It's coming. It's coming. Everybody's talking about Pulse. Fucking guys are just, at least we got something to talk about, right? I mean, you guys are like, so many people are all over the Pulse thing. I mean, here's what I think. Just fucking wait. You gotta wait. Richard's probably gonna surprise everybody. Every time we think we got it figured out or we know what he's doing or we got a handle on it, he fucking throws a curveball and it's something else. And we go, oh, fuck, that was brilliant. You know, so just stand by for that, guys, and quit banging your heads up against the wall. Let me finish this coffee. I was gonna party tonight. Anyway, Miss Hexquisite, welcome. I think I actually heard you in the chat room this morning talking. Very nice to have you. You were one of the more sane voices in the chat room that I heard today. Let's see, Danny Boy, welcome. Balaji, what's up, dude? Me and him are gonna go hang on the beaches of Puerto Rico one day and enjoy our gains. Let's see who else is in here. COG. Wow, yar matey. What's up, COG? Our resident troll. Hex Genius. Billy Boy Crypto. What's up, dude? Always good to have you. Hexander. Went through a sticker on D Live's DS stream for old time's sake. Yeah, man. That thing was Oh, well, we're doing okay on the YouTubes, though. We're doing okay on the YouTubes. We haven't been, anyway. The Sapper, Sick Visor, bro. What's up, y'all? Pabalaba. Hey, D-Gens. Low. What's up, Low? Let's see. Hex Genius, Jack Stevens, Bob Saget. Always good to have you too. MT Coiner. MT Coiner. You're not MT Crypty, are you? No, you're MT Coiner, right? Because MT Crypty is my cousin. Let's see. Franklin, what's up, dude? Hey, MT Coiner, allow me to get this party starting. What's poppin', Hexicans? Thank you for the $15 pop there. Thank you. Let's see. Let's put that up just because MT Coiner hooked us up. But I know MT Coiner, I know you're not my cousin. She's definitely not. Nordic Marius. Plus she owes me like $75 worth of ETH for her onboarding. Let's see. Cabana, good to have you, bro. Good to have you. Crypto Goose, Cabana, get in here, man. We haven't seen you for a while. All Things Funnels. What up? Matt Allred. Mel Vitoni. Ready for this great stream? Well, I hope so, but it's up to you guys to make it that way. This is not my stream. This is your stream. I'm just here to smack you guys around every once in a while. H369. Hello, Hexicans. What's up? Marco the Hexican. Hey, RG3. Hello, brother. Yeah, man. That's you. Are you a brother from another mother? What's up, dude? Nordic Marius. The Dutch fella coming on? I don't know. Well, let's see. The Dutch fella, Hex Phoenix. What up? Crypto Ewok and Sammy. What's up, Sammy? Let's see who else is in here. David Feeder. Oh man, we got us a David Feeder back. Good to have you, bro. Wherever you've been. No, you've been back in the last couple of weeks. So good to see you, bro. Bitstream AM. Hey. And who else is in here? Cassius Bridges. Oh, man. Awesome. Come on, son. Well, hey, I had to go through the whole chat room because a lot of these folks aren't going to come in here. But thanks for showing up, everybody. We appreciate you. We appreciate you being part of the Hex community because we are the baddest asses in all of crypto. I'm telling you right now, nobody rocks like Hexicans, and it's known out there. When I'm ready, I'll bring you motherfuckers up. So just relax. I got to have a couple minutes before you guys come in here and screw the fucking stream up, right? They're all waving at me and throwing signs and shit up. I'm like, let me in, coach. Anyway, so real quick funny story. So I'm going to get some bad food. So my wife leaves town with the kids, and they're all at the beach for like a little spring break type of thing at her aunt's house. She lives on the beach in Newport, and got a nice house there down on the beach, and so they're all staying over there for the weekend, and kind of our first family get out for the COVID thing, kind of loosening up a little bit. So they're going to the beach, and so I'm planning a bachelor weekend, right? I'm gonna go get me some badass food. I'm gonna sit down on my couch. I was almost not going to stream. I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to turn some stupid bad YouTube on my big screen and just sit here and watch shit stream after shit stream of whatever I want, punk rock videos, whatever. And then surf stuff, whatever. And I go out and I forgot my mask. I took my mask out of my car, put it, and I forgot it. So I'm like, fuck, man, I got to go into the damn liquor store or the gas station, pick up a couple gas station pills and get me a mask, right? So I'm buying a mask, and first thing the girl does is I give her a $50 bill, and she's like, we don't have change for a 50. I'm like, the fucking mask is $5. It's like, you don't have change for a 50? That's like a 20, right? I mean, it's a $20 bill. And come on, what are you doing? So first she couldn't give me shit, and she's giving me a shitty little attitude. And then she gives me my mask, and I had to use my card because she couldn't take the $50 bill, right? So you use my card. And then she tells me, next time come in here with a mask. And I just looked at her like, That's what I'm doing. I'm buying a mask because I don't have a mask. I said, I'm buying a mask. What are you talking about? She goes, well, next time wear it. Just started laughing, man. I couldn't fucking believe it. She actually said that. Anyway, that's just my little story today. So then I came home, didn't want to stream. I wanted to lay on my couch and eat, but I sucked down a couple cups of coffee and now I'm ready to go. Now I am ready to go. So get your asses in here. All right. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring up, first and foremost, our boy, our man of the hour, our basically, he's our producer now, it seems like. Crypto King, what's up, dude?
Boom. What's up, fam? What's up, Captain? How y'all doing?
What's up, man? Oh, you got your Hex Moon Boy shirt on?
Yeah. Of course.
Nice. Who else? Somebody else sent me one too that they had. It was a nice one. Let me bring up. So we got another Hexican, a brand new Hexican. Sent me a DM today. Said he wanted to come on stream, and so I sent him the link. Said, "Come on, bro." So we got a new Hexican coming on, and this is Scotty Does Know. What's up, dude?
What's up, RG? Captain.
Oh man, just chilling,
Scotty?
man. Just chilling.
How
On a Friday night with the Hexicans.
Nice. I'm glad to be on. I've been watching you guys forever. I never came on the show.
Well, good. Glad to have you. That's what it's for you guys to come in and hang out with us, man. Is it Friday night.
Is it Hex Me Up, Scotty? What's going on?
Yeah, a little the Matt Damon pun from Eurotrip. Scotty Does Know.
Oh, there you go.
You know, the Scotty doesn't know kind of thing going on. So,
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So, how long have you said you've been watching us forever? How long has that been?
Yeah.
How far do you go back watching us?
Since the beginning. I mean, since you guys started. I mean, I've been in Hex since day one. I've been following Richard since 2017, and
okay.
Yeah, I've been following since Bitcoin Hex, pretty much. Even before that,
yeah.
I was in this even since like CFD token. I was going to be in this. Like, I don't care what Richard was going to come out with.
Yeah,
the guy's a genius. I don't care what he's going to come out with. I'm going to follow whatever he says.
Yeah, we watched it from CFD to Bitcoin Hex to Hex. Now here we are. It's been quite a journey, and we're still not over yet. We're still not done yet. It's been quite a
this Pulse thing is unbelievable. I can't wait for this thing to come out. I'm thinking about it every day.
What do you? Oh, you got your light. I see, huh?
I grabbed the Doge one by mistake. I threw it in the trash. Don't worry, people.
Oh. Hexagon says, I recognize that name. So you must go all the way back. Everybody's recognizing you from the back.
Yeah, I've been in the chat rooms. Never come on stream yet. So I was like, you know what? I might as well jump in, talk. I'm good at chit talking, going back and forth. So it should be fun.
All right. Well, when you started looking at this Pulse thing, so now that's what everybody's excited about. What's your thoughts? What is making you really excited about, Pulse? I mean, being an OG Hexican, knowing what's happened, watching, all the way from CFD token to now, what gets you riled up? Because I mean, what Richard was saying, like all this time. You've heard him talk, and this isn't new. This talk of forking ETH or having Hex on another chain isn't new. He's been talking about that from the beginning days.
He said that his if your worldview changes, so when stuff happens around you, you gotta adapt, you gotta change with it. And he said if Ethereum ever gets shit, then we gotta upgrade our worldview, and then we gotta do something about it. So this is 100% doing something about it. The fees are getting out of control, and the S load costing is ridiculous.
Yeah,
it's going to go up another almost 3x. I mean, that's crazy. Now, but I mean, the gas fees alone are getting crazy, and then you're going to go 3x to end your
Yeah.
stake.
That's
whatever.
that's just a fuck you tax to Hexicans is what it is.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
That's a ETH fuck you tax is what it is, and that's just wrong. And I'm glad he's doing what he's doing, and I'm glad he has it in the works, and it's doing what it's doing. But you know what?
That's good. Get us on our own chain, optimize it for us, especially, and get the fee burning thing going on. Get all the supplementals in there that he he's a master of doing. And this could, I think, explode too. I mean, why not?
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
I think they're just going to drive us to be even more successful, because that once we do go live with the chain, that's going to be big news in the industry, and we're going to have all the attention in the world. So
let me
it's great.
Let me make a bigger lesson out of this whole thing. One that Richard's been trying to teach everybody too, and one that everybody would be better served if they. Oh, let me bring this guy up because this motherfucker got to learn it more than anybody, to be honest. Okay.
Oh.
So,
Hey, guys.
what's up, Big B?
What's up?
How you guys doing?
Versology, what's up?
Oh, I'm
Dude.
doing great.
No, you're not. You're single. You're a young man, and you're in your house hanging out with us on a Friday night in Southern California. You're a fucking. You're a loser, bro. You're a
Oh,
loser.
come on.
Nah,
Yeah,
you
whatever.
good. You good. You good.
And hey, I'm telling you right now, he
You're
lives
not
in the
wrong.
heart. He lives out in the heart of like freaking Sheville. I mean, there are women everywhere where he's at. Versology lives in the middle of it, man.
Yeah.
He's like in the heart of OC. He's like a minute away from every badass place to be on a Friday night. That's for sure. What's up, Identity Block? Welcome, man. Good to have
Identity
you.
block.
How you been, dude? Are you frozen?
Yeah, that's the other stream going.
Turn your shit off, dude. All right. Unfuck yourself. Identity. Unfuck yourself. I'll put you right there. You're still in the green room. Just unfuck yourself. So wait a minute. I got to get back to this lesson because now Versology's here. He's got to learn too. So.
Wait, real quick. Crypto King, dude, I love your shirt. I actually just got a new shirt.
Yeah, Versology. He was showing me his shirt today. That's who.
Boom. Hell
When
yeah.
do you guys get all the swag, man? I want the swag.
Awesome.
Stand up, bro.
Are we able to shield a link, or I don't want to offend any other Hexican merch shops, but
I found
I
this
had
on
no
Amazon.
swag. I had nothing, man.
there's an Etsy shop called Crypto Styles USA. He's got like 25 different hex shirts, so check it out.
God damn.
Nice.
Well, yeah, don't do that here. We're about to launch our shirts.
Oh, never mind. Scratch.
All right. You all unfuck now, Identity?
All right.
Identity.
I think so.
That's
I'll
all right.
just keep
Just bring the
hitting
show to
mine.
a screeching halt here. You good? Now we'll wait.
Yeah, I
There's got a time delay.
think so.
Yeah, a little bit.
How's everyone?
I think he's in Saturn, so that's why it's a little bit delayed.
You're out of range of Elon's Wi-Fi.
No, I got you now. I can hear everyone.
Okay, there you go. Now you're
Just using
hanging
that,
there a little bit. Using that dial-up shit.
Okay,
All right.
perfect.
Well, anyway, I want to get to a lesson here with you freaking guys. So about worldview that Scotty just said. So there's good information, there's bad information, there's gray information. One thing that you need to do is study where you're getting your information. And I think Hexicans have done a good job of that because, you studied Richard and not only his information, but himself and the crypto space. You see who's out there, you see who the talking heads are, you watch the technologies. Hexicans are unique that way. Hexicans seem to be people who have been really deeply involved in the forward progression of crypto. It seems to be a theme of all of us. Richard too. And that's what Hex is. It's the future development of crypto. It's moving it forward. It's taking it out of the hands of the traders, the people that are scamming, and putting it into stronger hands, into longer holders, into people that are going to be good custodians of crypto. So I think Hexicans have a like mind. I mean, we all have our differences and whatever, but one of the things that Richard did was, and one of the things that he's criticized for often, I think this is kind of the last criticism now. because I heard it just the other day from the chap that owns Quick Swap and all that stuff. They said, "Well, I'm mad at Richard because he fudded ETH and then he flipped when it was convenient for him and accepted ETH and embraced ETH." And I'm like, no, you obviously didn't listen to what Richard has been saying. And what Richard's been saying is that, yes, ETH appeared to suck at first. It did, because so many coins that were being made on it, guys didn't know how to code it, man. And they were fucking up a lot. From what I understand, Solidity is very, very hard. It's very good, but it's very hard. So if you don't do it right, you can fuck yourself. And a lot of projects did that. They fucked themselves. So it appeared as though ETH, and I know in the beginning they also had bugs in some of their coding and stuff. So he did. He said, ETH fucking sucks right now. And when it didn't suck anymore, when it started to produce solid results, Richard changed his worldview because he educated himself as to what was going on over there. I mean, there wasn't anything to learn about Bitcoin. There wasn't any new developments. All of the shit that was going on was political anyway. So there was nothing that gave anybody any interest in, watching what was going on with Bitcoin, because it just sucked. Why would anybody want to build something on Bitcoin? Because everything was just, nobody's done it successfully from what I've seen. So he turned his eyes to ETH as it started to change, and he changed his worldview. He said, you know what? ETH is a place to build a crypto on. And you know what? Since I got time, since there's a bear market coming, I'm going to build something. And that's what people fail to realize, is that he changed his worldview because he learned. And that's what a lot of people need to do is change their worldview by learning from competent sources. Lesson to be learned by everyone. Find your sources. Be sure that they're competent. Don't just let them affect you emotionally, because that's what's going on out there. Everybody's digging into the freaking YouTube and all these fucking sites and just going on emotion and listening to somebody feed into your fears or your bullshit or your fucking hopium or whatever, and you follow that bullshit. You know what I mean? It's like, get up off of your ass, do some real research, find out what's going on in the world, find out what's going on in crypto, and then do yourself a favor and be careful of what the fuck you're buying into, and learn from it and change your worldview when necessary. That's what Richard did, is he changed his worldview when necessary. And that's a lesson that people need to learn in crypto. Fucking nobody does. It's the most amazing thing that people will not get up off of their ass and quit shilling their bag. And I know that's really hard when you got a bag of something and you want to just keep shilling the same shit. Like my wife, like I said, she's out of town, and she said, "Oh, hey, my cousin's husband is into crypto also." I was like, "Oh, great." And yeah, his biggest bag is XRP.
Jesus Christ.
I said, "That's shit." Tell him it's shit. Tell him I said it's shit. Go away. But anyway,
it's funny that how when Hexicans speak truth, that's now FUD. So
yeah, well, I mean, so be it. I mean, the crypto space deserves the FUD that's coming its way. It does. It's been fucking people over for too long, and they've hid behind, oh, those guys are just fudding us. No, you freaking rug pulled, or you bullshitted, or you got hacked, or you shut down, or no, you guys deserve your FUD. It's not just some other community coming after you. You deserve what you got, because your shit sucks. And they're hiding behind this tribalism crap, and it's like, Now we get to call them all out, because what's funny is when they came after all of us, it was, am I still there? Yeah.
We're good.
Okay.
We hear you.
Man, my camera died again. Goodness gracious, this heat. But anyway,
We'll hear you.
that's cool. So it's our turn. It's our turn to tell them, you guys are fucked. because we're the ones that have the good product. We're the ones that don't have any downtime. We're the ones that are going up X and continue to do so. We're the ones that don't have rug pulls. We're the ones that don't have centralization. We're the ones that have security. And you guys don't. So get your shit together, change your worldview, and get on board with us or get left behind. And most of them did get left behind because we gave a lot of them a chance to get in early, and they didn't.
Yeah, shout out to the chat, and that Hex Telegram voice chat is on point. The talk of the yesterday, I believe it was about the upcoming Lex Fridman show, and how that Elon Musk actually watches a lot of Lex's streams. So once Richard is on with Lex,
have an appointment yet?
I'm not sure. I haven't heard it. But I'm just saying, once that Richard Hart, Lex Fridman show happens, get ready, people, because we are going to be the talk. I wouldn't be surprised if it's going to be on mainstream, like Fox Business or Bloomberg or something about that.
It could be.
Show.
It could be.
Go ahead.
Yeah,
Anybody feel free to.
I was going to say I'm pretty excited about going on to this new chain. I think it's going to be awesome.
It should be.
And we can all do it through like MetaMask, just switching through that top part. That's going to be. I think it might actually help keep the money inside the Hex ecosystem too, because it's going to be more, not necessarily a pain to extract wealth out of it, but it's just going to be like, less of a chore.
If you've seen the way Matic works, it's the same thing. I mean, you just go in your MetaMask, you click, you're on a different chain. That's it. It's not a big deal. It's not a big as long as you can. Now that the whole Matic network thing at first was like, you had to freaking load it in, and it was kind of a little hokey at first. You had to add it, just like you had to add Hex into, MetaMask back in the day, by the contract address and whatnot. If we get into, if you get into MetaMask and you just have to click in and boom, there's Pulse, you lock in Pulse, and then boom, it's all really nothing changes at that point. So there's no change of the tokens and all that kind of stuff. It's just because when I went over to the Matic network with my Hex, it was the same Hex. It was the same Hex, went over there and came back and, moved around the decks over there. And again, that was a little, buggy with some of the UI. But I don't fault the Matic network for that. It was just, it's all new. So you're going to see that kind of shit. I would imagine we're not going to see any of that because Richard wouldn't put out a UI that's not like freaking dialed. I mean, we did have. Remember when we first entered the AA lobby and you had to count your days and all that shit. You didn't have,
Yep.
there were a couple of things that were kind of buggy at first, or that didn't exist that we kind of grew into. So
I
stuff like that.
I used a Google feature. How many days until this?
Yeah, that's what I did.
Add the calendar days.
47.
And then you're
Oh,
always
terrible.
worried. It's like, oh fuck, did I fuck it up by a day, or oh shit,
I always got it wrong. Yeah.
So
I
are
tried
the
adding calendar
are the Pulse chain Hexicans going to be laughing at the legacy Hex Ethereum Hexicans with the them ending stakes for almost free? Is that what's going to be going on?
I don't think that there's going to be two, to be honest. I don't think that it's going to exist that way.
Agree.
Well, all the legacy
Agree
Hexicans
completely.
will get free in stakes basically too, because it's going to be transferred over, right?
Yeah, you can. Well, I mean, it migrates.
I thought it does. Oh, okay. I thought the legacy stakes are on the ETH platform until they're
and that might be. I don't know exactly. Like, I ain't no dev, man, so I don't know how the technicalities of all that work. But this is what I do know. Like when I moved my Hex over to the Matic network, it was the same Hex. Now I didn't move stakes over there, so I don't know how that would work, if that would work, if it could even work. So again, just like COG just said, nobody knows what the fuck's going to happen. So it's almost like just, constantly sitting around here jerking ourselves off trying to figure out what this thing's going to do, and speculating. And then again, Richard's going to throw a curveball in the end. We're all going to go, fuck, no one.
But
Yeah,
also,
exactly.
with that said, no one has to worry about anything.
And that's the other thing. There's no worrying that needs to be done.
No worry.
And just being excited about it is enough to make us all talk about it all the time, because that's what the bottom line is we're all excited. We're all excited because we know that even if it just knocks the fees down so that we can onboard fucking people like crazy, and it won't cost us anything to pull, stakes out. That's exciting enough right there, And if there is any other benefit from it, some type of airdrop or something like that, then, hey, cool. But that's all just icing on top of the cake that's coming.
Well, Richard said multiple times.
Thanks, Brian. Appreciate you.
Well, Richard says multiple times that if things ever got bad in Ethereum, that you just take a snapshot of the current system state and you port it over to another blockchain. So this time, we're doing our own chain instead of going to some other beta test someone else's stuff. So now we're going to actually go on our own chain instead. So he said it multiple times, and by doing that, I mean, if you follow the path of what Richard likes to do, stuff that has already been successfully done. So if you look at other projects that have ported over to other chains, that other ERC20 version of it doesn't exist, or it does exist, but it's dead. No one uses it anymore because consensus is that you go with what's on the new chain, what's on the new blockchain. So this whole debate about there's going to be 2 active versions of Hex and I just doubled my Hex, that's not going to be a thing because everyone's going to use the pulse chain stuff. No one's going to use
everything.
The old
what
stuff.
Scotty's talking about, Captain, can you bring up Billy Boy Crypto's comment he just made? That's pretty interesting. I think that's what Scotty's also talking about as well.
Yep.
Yeah, and
Exactly.
that's what it was designed to do, I guess. From the beginning, it sounded like he said, "Yeah, we can just move the whole thing, forklift it off, and move it over to the other chain."
Anything got if Ethereum started to suck, which it is starting to really suck, then you just move the whole system state over. That's it.
But the Ethereum or the Hex Classic chain probably won't ever become valueless. Like even Ethereum Classic is at $15 right now. It's like the number 55 coin on the top 100.
But Hex isn't the system state coin. I mean, it's not the Ethereum. If you're forking Ethereum, you're going to be doubling the Ethereum over, not the Hex.
Yeah, Ethereum Classic is a what's it called? It's a fork that is a contentious fork. So if you're talking about having a contentious fork, then you're going to have 2 different chains. But if you keep looking at examples of what people have done in terms of moving their own coin to another chain, and you can go back to there's a million like EOS moving to their own chain, Tron moving to their own chain. The ERC20 version of it, everyone has consensus that has no value because it's not the real thing. And so, I mean, who's gonna provide liquidity for the ERC20 version? Because what's going to happen is that you're going to want to put that pulse chain Hex, you're going to want to wrap that and put that on Ethereum, so you have exposure to other chains. Just like how Richard's saying he wants to put that wrapped Hex on other chains in versions of either encapsulated stakes or whatever it may be. So you could have Hex out there on Cardano, on Tezos, on pick another fucking platform or whatever.
Binance and all those.
Yeah, Binance, sure, whatever. And so it could be traded all throughout. And if you have an ERC20 Hex that's trying to compete or whatever, it's not going to. I mean, who is Nomics.com going to say is the real Hex? I mean, it's going to be the one we all socially consensus agree. That's going to be the Pulse Chain Hex.
But you can't really shut down the Ethereum Hex, so it's always going to be there.
Yeah, no, you're right. I mean, just like the Tron ERC20 is still there too, but no one uses it.
Yeah,
no one
exactly.
It. It's going to be
it
there.
Might always have some value.
Yeah, it's
for something.
To see it, but
I can't see the Hex brand.
Pixology wants his
diluted.
shit to be worth something.
No, I mean I understand. I'm going over to the pulse chain. I'm just saying that
I
like,
want some more, man. I just
when
want a little
everyone's at
bit
the
more.
pulse chain and the
Yeah,
APY is
man.
like whatever it is, I bet you the APY on the Ethereum chain will probably be a little bit higher, and it might.
How you gonna stake it?
over.
How you gonna stake it? You can't go to hex.com and stake it. It ain't gonna be working. So are you gonna go through the Ether
Yeah,
scan?
there'll
and
be
contract?
you'll be able to access the smart contract. You can use Ether
You're
scan.
gonna have to do
Like-
some weird shit. It's not gonna
It's
be.
gonna be
UI
like
friendly.
around forever. You don't have to
Right.
use it.
It
but
won't
it's
be
gonna
easy and it won't
there.
be cheap.
Yeah, and yeah, that doesn't
So I-
matter because everyone's gonna want to be on the pulse chain anyways.
So I'm guessing the ETH miners are going to
Yeah.
lose a lot of guaranteed fees that were from future stakes that were going to be ending.
us.
All of that,
all that
fees,
economic
all of that fees
energy.
disappears.
Yeah, all that economic energy is going back into Hex now
Right.
instead of being wasted on the miners. Fuck them.
Right on.
Exactly.
We need to waste
I
that
think
money.
what you said
What is it
was
like
like
15,000?
15,000.
Yeah, $20,000 a day getting wasted on the Ethereum miners.
That's today.
And how many people are not? How many people do you know that want to put $100, $500 into Hex are not buying because it costs them $30 a stake, $40 a stake? It's ridiculous.
Well, they
So
can't. I
something
just
has to be done
onboarded
about
a
it.
guy that didn't have a
Right.
lot of money. I just onboarded one.
Yeah,
And it was like we had to stop at the, hey, bro, I'm already $100 with the ETH into this, and we haven't even staked you. So,
Yeah.
hey, man, when you get enough,
Yeah.
I said buy some more
Agreed.
ETH next payday or whatever, and I'll help you get your shit staked. But it's like for the average Joe that could only afford $300, $400, $500 worth of crypto right off the bat, it's a tough deal.
Yep.
It's a tough deal, and it's
Yeah.
and it's kind of it's kind of hard to convince somebody to spend. It's like, what the fuck is that all about? Why am I paying so much in fees? I mean, it's already hard enough to talk somebody into buying into crypto and taking the leap of faith and going into crypto, but then they see that and they're like, wait a minute, well, what the fuck is this all about? They already feel sketchy about the whole thing, and then you're going to add like firecrackers to it while they're trying to it's like, fuck, it's a tough
I've
deal.
caught myself
Tough deal.
a few times mentioning on the weekends at 3 a.m. That's when the fees, and then right away it's like, wait, what? I have to do what?
It's like, okay, so we're gonna set our alarms and
And
you're
I'm like,
gonna
well,
call
that's
me,
why I'm
bro, and
catching
we're
you
gonna
the
get up at Yeah. Hey, what's up, Wales? David Morales. Look at you guys in there. Marcavelli.
Hey, Captain, can I do a PSA, a public service announcement?
Fuck. What's it about?
You already know what this is about. I texted you earlier about this. Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
So I was kind of goofing around today. I had some Hex that was liquid, and so I needed to stake it. And I was kind of just playing around with the dates, seeing what kind of T-share rates I could get with different years and months and stuff like that. And I ended up I'm like, all right, that's cool. I ended up picking the right month, but I ended up staking it for like the wrong year and like kind of far out. And I was like, oh shit. And I hit, the stake button. I was like, yeah, let's go. Like speed that thing through. Go, go, go. And I was like, wait a minute. How many days am I staking? And so, I remember people saying that if you end your stake before the contract rolls over, you can get all your Hex back without a penalty. And I had never done that before. And it was, for me, it's a large amount of Hex. And that was really scary because, I ended up, I'm like, oh man, I don't want to end stake this thing and nuke my freaking bag, just atomize it into nothingness. And so I was just like so scared. I started like typing out a message to Richard. I'm like, no, I can't fucking bother Richard with this bullshit like stuff. I'm like, who I can bother? I'm gonna text RG. And then I texted RG and he's like, yeah, just do it, and then I'm like, I clicked on it and I'm like, I'm about to click on it. I'm like staring at it. I'm like, my heart is beating and I get a text message from freaking RG saying, push the button, pussy. I'm like, oh crap. So I hit the button and it all worked out. But don't be goofing off when you're doing or when you make
and then
mistakes.
he said, "Oh man, it worked." And I said, "Oh, good. I didn't know if it worked or not."
Yeah, like who do you know actually like ended a pending stake? So it works, everybody. It works. You can end a pending stake and not nuke yourself.
I know there was one I wanted to do with that because I was creating a ladder and I messed up a big stake and I put too much in the stake, like an extra zero type of situation. And I'm like, fuck, shit. So I just left it and I didn't realize that I could have done that. I could have pulled it out. And then,
that was after your donation to the OA.
My donation to the OA, my emergency end stake. I've made 0 donations to the OA. That was all interest that the Hexicans earned by my money sitting there. That's what it was. And plus, my bags got it too, so I wasn't too
contract,
and I got a lot more shares too. So I felt bad because just now I just realized I was naming all the streamers earlier, and I forgot to mention this cat right here. This is so hold on a second, guys. What's up, buddy?
What's up, RG3? How we doing, man?
How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing great. I got these new glasses that light up when I talk, so that's kind of cool.
That's freaking goofy, bro.
It's for an 80s party that I'm going to tomorrow.
Take your shirt off or something at least.
You don't want to see that. We'll do that off cam.
All right, in the green room later. In the green room. All right, let me bring everybody back up. All right, thanks for letting us have our moment, guys.
What's up, Persology, Scotty, Crypto King, Identity?
So yeah, so everybody, Bran, he is like one of the OG Hexicans, also the OG streaming Hexicans. He's been out there with us for a long time.
Yep.
Nice shirt, Bran.
Thanks, man. I got a lot more. Plenty. But yeah, this one's not bad. I mean, 555, right? Stake 555 is somewhere.
Right on.
Where are you guys getting all these Moonboy ones at with the
I found this one on Amazon. And actually I learned about this from Brand's show.
Amazon.com, yep.
Wow.
It's like Crypto Styles USA, something like that. I got the links on my channel, but yeah, just Amazon. Just type in like Hex shirt on the search, and dude, yeah, there's plenty of like Motley has this like drinking tears of like Hex hate or something like that, and that's pretty cool.
Good price.
Yeah, the coffee cup. Yeah.
Prices. Man, I'm telling you, I still am like amazed by Amazon. I don't know about you guys, but like that shit didn't exist, man. I mean, I've lived like most of my life without, ever going anywhere else other than a store to buy something, It's just like I could sit on my couch, do some shopping. Like last night I bought this badass router. It's the new Asus fucking gaming router that's just a monster. It's like $500-$700 router or whatever. And because I get shit connection in my house, the wireless, I literally had to freaking wire my PC all the way through to my router. I got this freaking like 200 foot of goddamn Cat 7 going all the way to my router, but for streaming. But now I'm gonna get the wireless rolling because Asus makes some badass router. But anyway, you just like fucking think of something, hit the button, look it up, hit the button, and it's at your house the next day, 2 days later. It's freaking crazy, man. It's just freaking awesome.
Yep.
Love me some Amazon. I mean,
yeah, I want to shout out.
Afraid of it.
Shout out to my New York City Hexicans.
I'm gonna get them in
Wells Only and Back of Schmill. I see you guys in the chat. What's up, El Hexidente?
Yeah, the New York Hexicans, you bad motherfuckers. I heard you talking shit about Cali the other day. Psh, you guys don't know. You guys don't even know you don't know. So just keep your shit. Hey, I know you guys got it going on over there. That's cool because I've been out that way on the East Coast. I know how you guys roll, but you guys don't know how it rolls out here, really. So don't just quit talking all of your fucking soy shit that goes on out here, and come hang out in the streets with me for a few weeks and see how you feel.
They raise
I've never disrespected East Coasters. Never disrespected you. But all you motherfuckers disrespecting fucking West Side, shit. Think twice, motherfuckers. Think fucking twice.
We're all ending up in Puerto Rico.
Totally.
Yeah, we're gonna be South Side, baby. South Side. Yeah, come spend a few weeks with me in the wood, and we'll show you what's up.
No one's going to be able to go to Puerto Rico if you don't defend your hex bags. Did you guys hear about that poor guy that got scammed by that Uniswap?
Oh man,
token thing?
Fucking Richard posted it today.
Yeah, that sucks, guys. You guys
I
gotta
didn't
be real
see it.
careful.
Never, ever, 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 ever put your fucking keys in anything. Nobody gets your keys.
Someone got scammed out of about $50,000 at today's price.
Oh my god,
man,
Yeah,
that's
that
just fucking horrendous.
Yeah,
Horrendous.
And the worst part is that the scammer, the complete fucking douchebag, he just like nuked the guy's bag and he didn't even get anything out of it. He just like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna destroy something beautiful, like freaking Fight Club. You know?
What a hey! If you are out there, you piece of shit, you're a piece of shit.
If
You're really
watching,
a piece of shit. That's like a vandal. Like if you're gonna steal something, fucking steal something. But vandalizing somebody's bag like that, you fucking low life piece of fucking garbage. You're shit, dude.
What's coming to him is coming. He's gonna get his. Don't worry.
Yeah, you fucking pieces of shit.
Hey,
One
I'm
of
gonna
these days,
revert back to
I'm
the.
Exactly.
I want to revisit the shirt thing because the guy, the Crypto Style, sent me these two for free because I mentioned that he should make a St. Patrick's Day. So check this out.
I like
Kiss
that.
Me, I Stake Hex, and this one.
it's not like
I like
Can
it.
you guys see it?
Yeah, that's great.
A little
Yeah.
leprechaun.
Yeah,
Nice.
he sent me those two free.
Well, that's exactly right. You know, so many people, they say, oh, you got 352 times your money. Yeah, that was probably luck. No, that was probably education. I mean, you know, a slight chance that it could have been luck, but a lot of us did get wrecked before finding Richard Hart and before realizing, oh, this guy actually does know what the hell he's talking about. And anyways, I mean, time.
Well, that's what a lot of the earlier guys did, Brand, is we walked a couple of, you know, bear markets, you know, from 14 all the way to 18 and we got our lumps, you know, and we saw a couple market shifts and we got wrecked and we did ICOs and we did all that shit and we saw the big connects and we saw the scams and then we all just happened to either be lucky enough or smart enough to have seen Richard and watched what he was doing. And then, oh shit, this guy knows what he's talking about. Yeah, he's going in the right direction. And then, like you said, by education, we said, well, I'm fucking getting into this one deep early. And I mean, that's what I did. I got in deep early and I staked long early. I mean, well, don't let me say that. I learned early I learned early in the first 6 months that, oh, fuck, you better stake a lot longer. You may as well emergency end stake your shit when you got your principal back and shit that shit out there longer. Like all these fellas are talking about right now, like Wales and Kareem are out there showing everybody the numbers going, look, this is what shares do. This is what's happening to shares. And Wales shows it all the time. Like, fuck, dude, look, this is where it's going. This is how it's built. It's built to rise and you can't do nothing about it. So guess what? Get in today, get your shit staked today, or else you're going to end up here when you make a decision. Don't make a decision back then. And that's what I like about Wales' streams is that he's showing you your best fucking moment is right fucking now. Right now is your best moment because tomorrow or the next day, that share price is going up. And you miss out.
RG3, you're the first person that I had. You're the first person that was a Hexicans that I had, food with in person. That kind of realized, like, man,
Why are you telling everybody about that, man?
Here's the thing: I should be having my steak length a lot longer than what the average says. And man, I got a lot of. I
told you, man. Why are you telling everybody our shit, bro?
The long story short is this:
Oh!
the T-shares at the end of the day are what matter. And those of us that tried to like front run or that tried to like heavily weight the T-shares towards the the beginning end of big payday, even 1 or 2 or 3 years out, like that's still kind of close. And long story short, it was the conversation that I had with you that kind of like not only brought me into grips with actually coming on live stream, but also realizing, man, I should change my staking strategy, not because of what you said specifically, but kind of realizing, man, I got time on my side, and realizing kind of like what the time horizon was. And with the Hex T-shares, like realizing that those are deflationary, and realizing how valuable and rare those actually are compared to Bitcoin, almost like a 2-to-1 ratio. It's like, it's significant.
Yeah.
And RG, I just want to say thank you, because you're the one that really kind of started opening my eyes about the long staking, really going way out there. And I ended up getting a big chunk of money and just doing a whole bunch of stakes monthly all the way out for 15 years. And, if it wasn't for you, I probably wouldn't have done that. And I did it all before the big payday too. And now I'm looking at these stakes with all those big payday, bonus shares on them. And it's awesome. So thank you for that.
Well, you're welcome. You're welcome. I was just, I saw when we had our first stream with Dev Kyle.
That's what opened my eyes. Yep. Kyle stream.
And I always knew that there was something more to shares than I was seeing. And so I reached out to Dev Kyle because I wanted to understand. At that point, I really didn't understand them at all. And so I brought Dev Kyle on. I talked to him, and he blew my mind, back in the green room when we were just chatting. And he blew my mind. I said, dude, we got to put this on stream. Hexicans got to understand this stuff, because I don't. And I'm not doing him any justice unless I get you up here. And then what I did know was I didn't know the math. I didn't know it. I didn't get it. I'm dyslexic when it comes to the numbers thing. I'm serious. Fucking numbers. People start talking numbers. Like, a lot of times it's really hard. Like, I love watching Whale's chart. And because he does this macro thing, he does show the microeconomics of what's going on, but he has a way of backing up and showing you this is what the future looks like because of what we're seeing here. So I get that part of it, but then when he starts talking numbers, I fucking gloss over it and I miss it, and then I get pissed at myself because I don't fucking understand it. But Kyle came on, and the more and more we talked about it on stream, the more and more I understood, oh shit, share price today is the best it's ever going to be. And getting as much of those shares as soon as possible, and not worrying about trying to, because see, like, I was trying to catch dips in the beginning. I was trying to catch, like, every time it hit 1 million hex per ETH, I was like, boom, I'm buying me a stack of freaking hex when it hits 1 million. And I was just kind of stacking it all up at first. And I was making a little stake here and there. I was kind of like doing my my event stakes, like I said, my anniversaries, my birthdays, my kids' birthdays, college, when I thought college was coming. I put a little, wedding thing for my daughter, if that ever happens. I did some things like that, just kind of event stakes. So I was just playing around with it, and then gathering hex and trying to buy dips. And I'm like, wait a minute, I just need to go all in on a fucking million hex day and million hex per ETH day, go all in, and then just fucking make some ladders now, get my shit together, because the longer and longer I wait, the worse and worse off this is going to get. And so I FOMO'd into building a staking ladder, and I FOMO'd into building my staking wall, and my 15-year wall that I have. And so I FOMO'd into, what's that? What was it? Did I miss something? I'm sorry. Anyway, so I FOMO'd into all that, built it all out, and then staked it all out. And then what happened was I realized
no, that's staking wall. I remember that one too. I did a staking wall.
Oh man, it sucks when you're lagging like that. But yeah, so after all of the stakes were done, I realized that really the rate of the share increase wasn't that bad during the AA. I mean, we only lost like 10%, I think, through the whole thing by the time it came due. Big payday.
Yeah,
and now it's rising exponentially. We're already starting to see huge increases in share price. I mean, what are we at, $320 or something today? You're muted, Bran. You're muted, bud. Unmute.
Sorry about that. It's incredible, RG3. The system itself has worked 100% uptime, and it's worked exactly like Richard has talked about. The share rate itself in Hex never goes down. It only goes up. Obviously, the share rate versus the US dollar fluctuates, but it's amazing to see how the system has worked so flawlessly. And I agree, man. I'm just grateful to have fucked up so much to the point that I realized, hey, Richard Hart, he's the only guy telling the truth as opposed to all these other shillers, right? And then listening to Richard and taking his advice and realizing, hey, maybe I don't know everything in the world, and maybe I should listen to people that actually have more experience that mined 50-cent Bitcoin blocks.
Exactly right. Exactly right.
Yeah, I mean, listening to your streams, though, RG. I mean, we go back to the beginning, like the first, I don't know, month, 2 months of the project. I was inspired by Brennan, the whole monthly staking for 15-year ladder. Built that whole nice looking ship thing he had. I remember that. And I built that whole thing out. And then I was watching your streams, and with things like DevCon, I'm learning about the T-share stuff. And it's like, fuck, do I really need this money in a year? Do I need this money in 5 months? Do I need it in 2 years? I don't need this stuff. So why don't I just take that emergency end stake it and just throw it out 15 years? Just keep throwing it out farther out. And your streams really opened my eyes. It was great watching you guys. I learned a shit ton.
So I think what's going to happen, and COG just mentioned it right now. So my mind has changed also. I've learned something about my wall. So I'll explain it real quick, and I'm going to answer to what you just said and what COG said. So he said the wall will never come down. The interest will far outweigh the principal, and you don't want to end stake that. Now, I agree totally with him, because so what I did was I came up with a strategy that was like, okay, what if Hex pumps to $1, $5, $10, whatever, something like that? What if it has 1 year where it just moons, right? We're seeing a bear market or whatever, and then all of a sudden Hex just freaking moons. All right. Well, what if I had, and especially at my age, 7.5 years from now, we see something like that happen after the 7.5 year point. So I got my principal. I've got all these staking walls out there, multiple different stakes. So I'm not nuking just one stake. I've got a bunch out there that I could pull a brick off the wall, right? And I said I can just grab some and take some profits if there's a big moon. If we do have a big upside on the Hex price. And then I started looking at it, and I looked at its big payday, and I started looking at its interest and going, I'm not going to want to fucking pull any of those down with all that shit. I'm not going to want to nuke that shit, right? And so just like COG just said, it's going to be very hard to take profits on something like that. I used to say, man, no, fuck no, I'm taking some profits, man. And I still might. I don't know. But from what you were saying, Scotty, it's you learn and you start to realize now you young guys, fuck guys, even if you did mess up and stake too early, and I know it's going to hurt when you do end stake those and try and stake them back out for longer, because you're like, man, if I would have done a 10-year or even a 5 or 7 or 10-year at that time instead of what I did, I'd be sitting on so much more Hex that I could have built a bigger, stake with. But just think, you've got so much time to restake it and put it out there longer. So much time. And those shares, the amount of hex that you're going to have because of what you just did, and it's not going to be as good as it is now, of course, but you're still going to be able to have a second opportunity to throw those stakes out longer and really, benefit from your hex bag and
get more T-shares.
And get more T-shares. It depends upon the T-share price at that time, how much more you're going to get, but yeah, So don't think all is lost, because if you're young, you still have a lot of time to capitalize on the shares, because guys, one day T-shares is going to be gone and it's going to be B shares, and then B shares by the time 15 years comes up, nobody going to be talking about T-shares. It ain't going to be T-shares. You're going to be like, you got fucking shares? Really? Wait, what? T-what? T-what? T-shares? What the fuck's a T-share?
I can already see it now. They're going to be like throwing derogatory words at us, like, all right, T-Rex, Mr. T-share, you dinosaur.
Genesis share, motherfuckers.
Yeah, only dinosaurs have freaking T-shares, you T-Rex, motherfucker.
I'm telling you. Hey, what's up? Hey, Hextoshi, thanks for the 555, buddy. Thank you, bro. Thank you. We appreciate it.
Can Brand decipher his little message?
Which message?
The super chat, Hextoshi's.
Oh.
The 5 with
the. Just Cuatro Cinco. At the end of the day, it's all about the T-shares, right? And you can literally triple your T-shares from 1 day up until 3,641 days. And at the end of the day, what people don't realize is that is the equivalent to an analog version of compounding interest, or the equivalent of Bitcoin mining hash rate. And just imagine if you had that Bitcoin ASIC miner, but you didn't have the electricity bill, and you didn't have the cost of the noise and all these other things, the overhead, right? And that's exactly what Hex is. And when RG3 mentions that people like myself, I'm 24 years old, I've got time on my side. And that's a huge benefit to people that might be starting off a little bit slower than, say, other people that they're comparing themselves to. And when you really realize it, it's all about the shares itself, and it's all about how long your time horizon is.
Yeah. By the way, fuck off, Pfizer. Fuck off.
If you want to hear some really amazing moon math, I was just curious, what's the minimum amount, if you were to be like stupidly, overly conservative on everything inside the Hex system, what's the minimum amount you think you could probably stake to get maybe $1 million in 15 years? Right? And you have to assume just the price of Hex. So let's say the price of Hex is $1. That's it. 15 years from now, $1. That's pretty conservative. What do you think?
Let me see here.
So if you take 175,000 Hex and stake that for 5555, you got 30 T-shares. And let's be even more stupidly conservative here. So right now it's paying you per T-share 5.8 Hex a day. So let's say that stays the same, which it's not, for the next 15 years. We all know it's not. You do that math, that's just shy of under 1 million Hex you're going to earn in interest. So 1 million Hex over 15 years, it's $1. That's $1 million. It's pretty nuts. And if you want to be stupidly
those are very conservative numbers.
Exactly.
Stupidly conservative, because that payout per T-share, it's at 5.8 now. When you get to 5 years, that's going to rocket up, because that's the average stake line for everybody.
Get that one, Hex Clips. That'll be a good one to look at 15 years.
I was doing similar math for someone on Twitter. They had asked, how much money can I make with $1,000, right? So at today's pricing, you can get about 60,000 Hex for $1,000. And I told the person, if you stake it out for 5 years, you can get, I forget how many T-shares and everything you got, but the math ended up being, after 5 years, your 60,000 Hex will earn 72,000 Hex and interest, which will end up with 132,000 Hex. And like I said, I'm like in 5 years, I easily see the price of Hex being at $1. And so that means if you stake $1,000 today, in 5 years, that
You
could
said
potentially-
easily $1. You said easily.
easily.
That's 15 years for $1. I mean, I think mine's a little more conservative.
$132,000 for a 5-year stake. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
From $1,000.
Hey fam, we got like 120 watching, but only like 69 likes. Don't forget to smash that.
They don't
that
like it, man. They don't like it. They
Like the videos, you
don't like it.
Come on.
Hit the not like
Who
button.
doesn't like moon math?
Don't just
Come on.
stand there. Hit the fucking not like button, would you? I'd like to see that at least. Hit the not like button and post the fuck off, or you guys suck, or boomer this or boomer that. It's always some boomer shit. You guys got
Hey, Crypto King, can you see out of those fucking things you have on your face?
Hey, how about a little
Yeah,
subscribe
I can
too?
see.
Because we need to
You
just
can see out of those? Okay.
I want to bust this 2,000 subscriber thing.
Yeah,
And we're like
I can see.
we're like about 60, 70 subscribers away from hitting 2,000. So
Nice.
freaking do a
I
subscribe.
ride a bike with these, or I go to the store with them. Yeah, I can see fine.
Okay, let's talk about the glasses. That's more important than fucking telling people to subscribe.
Subscribe, goddammit. Come on. What are you
Subscribe.
pitchers doing?
Come on, son.
Subscribe to RG3. Let's get 2,000. Come on. You plebs.
Smash the like, right?
Set up another account.
Plebs.
Come on, son. He's always flashing that sign at me. He takes pictures of it and sends it to me.
Yeah, all
Okay.
kinds of
Down in a
notifications.
freaking corner in Japan. Come on, son. Let's see.
Yep.
I don't know what I'll do with all that money. Yep. I don't know what I'll do with all that money. You know what?
Yep.
It's not about the money. It's about the hex. What are you going to do with all that hex? What are you going to do
Got
with all
T-shirts
that
too.
hex? What are you going to do with all that hex? Are you going to spend it, or are you going to make generational wealth out of it? You young guys.
I'm trying to maintain
Brand-
the same
Brand
level
just told me.
T-shirts.
Brand just told me, yeah, that's my goal too. Brand just told me
Yeah.
that he's going to be under 40 when the first 15-year stakes are done. He's going to be under 40. That's like fucking crazy, man. That's crazy.
Well, and everyone has their own time horizon, right? My grandpa, who's 90, dude, he called me the other day. He's like, Brand, what are you streaming about on Facebook that you're so passionate about? And I was like, remember, Grandpa, when the banks used to pay you interest to put your money in their accounts, and, you know, they would pay the interest? And he's like, yeah. And it's like, man, you know, your time horizon doesn't have to be the maximum length term. Like, dude, I'll spot you on a liquid basis, and, you know, I'll give you extra presents on your birthday just because I want to show you that, hey, this product does work. I mean, at the end of the day, sometimes people don't have to set up the wallets and stake it themselves. I mean, with the Uniswap airdrop, I set a lot of my family members, you know, for many years down the road, just with that airdrop alone.
Nice.
Tax event. Anyway,
begged family to get in.
But
Man,
if you
I
know
begged.
this,
They don't want to listen.
But like I said, I'm super excited about the Pulse chain. It's going to help us be able to really utilize Hex like a lot better than it is right now. You know, just for example, I always kind of mention this, but I got to stake monthly. Like that's for 15 years. That's 180 stakes.
Me too.
And when I did this, I spent $400 because each stake cost around $2 each. And that's not possible for people to do nowadays. So we need this Pulse chain so we can actually utilize Hex the way anyone wants to utilize it. And,
I think it's slowing down the growth, the staking growth right now.
I think so too.
Totally. 1,000%. I mean, 15.
And then it's
25.
butt hurting people that are staked right now. I mean, it hurts to unstake, and it hurts to watch a freaking small stake, bleed out because you can't take it out. It hurts. And it's not any fault of yours or Hex. It's fucking ETH did it, and it's it's a shame. But it's part of crypto. It's like
you know that that he's got a vision here, Richard, where he's been talking about the fiat on ramps as well too, and I can easily imagine a future if he can get something done with those on ramps where you can basically paying nothing or almost nothing to swap your fiat into Hex, and then you could do swaps, whatever, on Paul's chain for practically free, and then you could stake for practically free. It's huge, getting to our own chain. It really is, and it's limitless what you could do, because you could probably then have some other project or something else built where you can do margin trading or whatever too, because it's great to get those plebs wrecked on margin trade. It's only going to help us. It's only going to help the Hex price. If you want to trade, it's only going to help the Hex price.
That's true.
We tell them don't do it, but people want to Degen. And if they're going to Degen, let them trade, and let them short. Please let them short. Let them short Hex. It'd be so fun.
It'll be amazing to
see those short liquidations. I love. You see that from Bitcoin all the time. $100 million liquidated short.
Fun, though. It'll be a fun chart.
It's gonna be fantastic.
All right, cool. This is a great subject here. Hex Cuddy, at Crypto Goose. Wife accumulation. What was the other one he said? He said Hex is 15 years will be wife changing, not life changing. All right, let me pop your bubble, Crypto Goose, real quick. So if you've been married to somebody for 15 years, guess what she just did? She just wrecked your bag by 50%. And you're gonna end up having the fucking end stake that her. So let me just tell you guys right now, if you're gonna get married, choose wisely. Stay with it. Stay with it. Stay with it. Just choose wisely and stay with one of them, because, man, you don't want to play that game.
And marry a rich girl so you can get
exactly.
Find
one that's in Hex, And but I'm telling you guys right now, man, it's I've seen that wreck more men than any bad crypto, any rug pull, anything. You marry wrong and you've wrecked yourself for fucking ever. And especially if you squeeze out a couple of kids, you're wrecked forever.
All right, guys. Here's what you do. Someone has to marry Sammy Chica. So if you guys ever get divorced,
I think Sammy is married already. What are you talking about?
Oh, is she? I don't know.
Sammy will fuck you up too, so don't mess with Sammy. Your wife is your most yes. Your wife is your most your most important financial decision. I ain't fucking lying to you guys, man. There isn't a truer statement. There isn't a truer statement in crypto, in life, anywhere. Your wife is your most important financial decision, because I'm telling you, that person right there. See, what people don't realize is that marriage is just a contract. It's just a contract. That's all it is. It has nothing to do with the love and the church and all that bullshit. It's really just a contract. You guys enter into a contract going, hey, we're gonna share everything. So now she can get on your insurance. Now she gets half of your shit if you decide to break the contract. That's just the way it is. It's a contract, and you're signing in a contract for what? Well, they each your own decision on why you do that. But marry wisely. Marry wisely. That's all I can say. I've been married for 20 years, and I couldn't be happier. I know that my marriage is fucking stupid is what wait, no. I'm gonna marry Serena and take out. Yeah, Serena's probably wait, what is it? Oh, this is what Markable said. Hey, if you're single, you don't have to. Hey, Markable's got it the idea right? Let's see. What else we got in there? Who the fuck is Mary Wisely? Yeah, right. Who is that? I feel so much better about it now, RG. Oh, what about your marriage, or about not getting married, or thinking about getting married? Just, think about it. Hey, we got the DS pump going on, guys. DS pump. Whoa, unwrecked. Throw us some Australian. I don't know what 111. Is that Aussie money right there? Is that Aussie dollars?
It's about $1.11. No,
I don't know what it is, But thanks, Unwrecked.
$84.48 US allegedly.
Wow.
Wow.
Awesome.
Thanks, Unwrecked. You are
Badass.
All right. Well, looks like we know who sold, right? Huh? I'm watching you, Unwrecked.
a kangaroo court. Yeah. The Unwrecked is when he and I first, Unwrecked is like in the when it comes to the end of the cutthroat rooms, he like we'll be talking about some shit, and then all of a sudden he comes in and he just goes off and just throws some crazy shit out there. And,
dude, he went in there. Someone was talking, and it was probably Wales only, just talking, and then all of a sudden, Unwrecked comes in with his voice changer and says, "You will respect the power of T-shares," and it just sounded like Ultron or something. It was actually pretty awesome.
Nice, but anyway, Unwrecked. He and I, when we first started streaming, somehow he got like in the back. I'm gonna put this one up in a second after I tell this quick story. So he got into the green room, like we were getting ready to do a stream, and he got in the green room, and he couldn't get in, and so he couldn't get in. So after the show was over, he never got in. He hit me up on Telegram. He's like, "Hey, you fucking douchebag. You and your fucking pleb motherfucker think that you're so hot shit. Fuck you." He like went off on me, right? I'm like, "Who the fuck is this pirate?" Right? So I get on with him. I'm like, "What?" And he's like, "Oh man, I didn't mean it. Let's talk about this." I'm like, "Dude, what are you talking about?" He fucking came at me like with a hatchet and shit. I was like, "Right on. I like this guy." So right away he had to be in the cutthroat room and hang out with us, and he has ever since. And they've started streaming up there in Australia, and we've actually become really good friends. So
where is he? Why is he not on the show right now?
I don't know. It might be late out there, and he might already be 3 sheets, or he's under the sheets. He's quite the ladies' man out there. He comes in and lets us know regularly about his exploits, and sometimes we get pictures. It's really cool.
When he's all dressed up and has a haircut, he looks like
he cleans up well.
A young Brad Pitt almost.
It cleans up well. Okay, so now one of my other freaking troll friends here. So this guy, he shows up one day and he just starts throwing weird, like fucking murderous, like serial killer shit in my streams, right? So thanks, Ramey, for the $10. But he says, "You wake up."
He says some crazy shit.
No, Ramey. No, this is Mark. So you wake up on one of the 3 platforms inside of a volcano. Hexo is tied up on second, and the third has every copy of all seed words for all of viewers and Hexo's crypto wallets. You can only save 2 platforms, which this kid's freaking off the wall. Hey, look who it is. It's Marco Frost. Thanks, Rami, for the $10 and the oddity.
What's up?
What's up?
It's Europe has done this daylight savings as well, so now it's 5 a.m. again.
Nice. Look at you up early working and all that shit. Good for you. What's up, Marco?
Guys?
It's good to have you, man.
It looks cold over there.
Going on? What?
It looks cold where you're at.
No, dude, this is just the most comfortable. It's not cold. It's spring, man. It's nice weather over here. It's like, I don't know in weird measurements, but it's like in 20. It was almost 20 degrees that other day, so that's nice.
They're like Celsius?
Yeah, Celsius.
It's not, what the hell is that in Fahrenheit?
I don't know in Fahrenheit measurements.
You gotta dumb it down for us Americans.
20. It was almost 20 degrees. Yeah, I won't. There's is the echo just for me or no?
No, it's from Crypto King. You got it?
King.
I think he froze again. Yeah, he froze. He's having some trouble.
That I've never been on a stream with Crypto King, and then that his internet worked. Like every time he dropped out. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, he's dropping out.
Look at that. Thanks, Brad.
Hey, no problem, man. Thank you for inspiring me to come on, dude. I've been in crypto since early 2017, and you're the only person that inspired me out of the Hexican community. First, it started off with like hexologists, and then obviously with you, it was like, man, hey, any of you people can come on in. And it was like, man, hey, this is kind of like my kind of crew and my kind of pirate ship. And so joined the first stream with you, and I think I still might have that on my channel or your channel. And man, it was super like embarrassing and almost nerve-wracking because I was on my phone. I didn't realize that the desktop is the best way to do it with StreamYard, and then also with headphones, you know. But yeah, I appreciate the opportunity, man. You're the one that kind of helped me get out of the shell and actually start posting content that was hex related, because I was always passionate about crypto and what it could do from like a cypherpunk, you know, realization and ideology. But you're the one that kind of introduced me to like, hey, you know, just join the StreamYard thing. It's all you got to do is just turn on your webcam and mic. So that was pretty cool.
Yep. Well, I'm glad you're here, Brand. I'm glad that the first stream you came on, you just sat there on your couch with a big grin on your face. And it was like,
Was he wearing a tank top?
Nice.
he's wearing his tank
Possibly,
top,
yeah.
He's hanging there with his shorts on, his junk hanging out.
Was he making a chicken wrap?
I think
Got
so.
the eye
Like,
of Captain RG.
Now we got an OG freaking joining us right now. Now this is another one of the early Hex streamers, and it's Timmy B, and he's got a new studio because he's all retired and he can afford good shit now. What's up, Timmy?
Hey, how you doing, RG? How's my sound?
It
Sounds
sounds like you're a little
pretty
far
shitty.
away from your mic, but it sounds okay.
All right, I'm using my phone, so I don't know how good the quality's going to be. This is my first time streaming here.
I can
Okay.
hear you.
Yeah, it would probably work better if you had like your headset plugged in and the mic there close to you versus using the mic from the phone. But it sounds good. We can actually understand. It sounds good. So thanks, El Hexidente, for the 369 and Bakishamil. Bakishamil, right? Bakishmil. Are we pirates? Are we pirates of crypto community? Yeah, we're just pirates, man. We're just crypto pirates.
I'm so excited about Vegas coming up. Dude, that's going to be so much fun. Just bar hopping, going from place to place. That's going to be really cool.
Yeah, we're gonna
meet some of you guys.
Yeah, I wish I could join, man.
We're going to show you all.
I thought you were going to make it, Markable. What happened?
RG is
No, I'm
not
not
going
going
to
to
shorty.
make it. I'm stupid. I can get more T-shirts.
You can get more t-shirts. Yeah, okay.
I only checked the price to get to Vegas, but like, I don't know.
Uh-oh, what's Brand got
Doesn't,
there?
hey, this is for Johnny
yeah,
No
yeah,
Good.
yeah.
He says, Brand, where's your abiders? Because I got them at my girlfriend's place. I still haven't
that's the
unpacked them. But
economist.
this is the Hex on the Economist magazine. So, you know, what are we up? 351x from, you know, the lowest to the all-time high. And this is just the beginning, guys. I mean, just remember, guys and gals, just remember the gas fee itself is just a short-term problem. And imagine when you'll be able to enable your friends to, say, staker.app for 2-3 cents. Like, imagine when that kind of solution is enabled on pulsechain.com and richardhart.com. And, you know, so that was just kind of for my friend Johnny No Good. But gotta love the advertisements, right? In Economist magazine.
Well, it's history. You know, it's going to be history, and that's cool. You got a little. What do you got? A folder full of stuff.
I got a lot of photos. Yeah, I got a whole bunch of digital and a whole bunch of physical too. So yeah, I got a lot of folders.
Nice. You can make a
document that here.
Hex museum one day.
Hey, what's up, Markable? Great to be on the stream with you. I think I heard you mention a few minutes ago, but yeah, something's happening with my computer now, but it's great to be on with you, brother.
For sure, man. It's good to hear you. And most of the time, your audio doesn't even come through.
Oh my God! Don't tell me that.
It's funny, man.
You sound good.
Look, he's lagging as well right now, so probably his internet will probably die again.
Oh no!
It's a shame, man. You should you should. I wanted to say you should sell one T-shirt, but don't do that. Just keep on dropping out. That's way better. Way better.
Okay.
Way better idea. Hey guys, did we already? I saw.
We're pumping tonight. We're pumping. The DS pump is in.
Oh, that's for sure. Yeah. I saw Richard. I don't know when he said it, but
Nice.
he said something about having like polls having hidden features, secrets and shit.
Yeah.
That guy is like a kid just building on his own project, and he's like, I want secret compartments.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
I like him, man.
That is
pretty
freaking
cool.
awesome.
Like he has fun with it, you know.
Does anyone have any idea what a secret feature might be? Like,
no, that's why it's secret.
That's why it's
I
secret.
don't know. But I mean, what about like a guesstimate, speculation?
No.
The only one thing that
We've
I
been doing
really
that.
want to be able to do is to pay for staking and unstaking and transfer fees all with Hex. That's what I want. I don't want to have to buy the Ethereum anymore. I want to get off the fucking shitcoin Ethereum and
some good fiat on ramps too, right?
Well, if you got your own chain, you don't need ETH, right? You just use
exactly.
other
It's
coins.
the ETH killer.
Exactly. I'm so excited about this new chain. I can't wait. It's going to be so much better
Exactly.
in
It's all about
every single way.
Can we please stop saying it's an ETH killer? Annoying, man.
I mean, cheaper
It
fees.
brings-
you
it
know,
He
brings
that'll-
said
you right.
ETH. He didn't say ETH killer. He said ETH killer. Get it right.
Okay, no,
ETH killer.
then it's all right, man. It brings
Thanks,
me back
Bacchus
right,
Mill.
right to 2017.
It's not a
just gonna say,
ETH killer. It's
2017.
just a standalone product. That's what it's going to be. It's a standalone product.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's an alternative. I mean, think about this, right? Even the people minting non-fungible tokens, you know, their NFTs, even those people are spending a lot of money on gas. And I'd have no idea because I don't involve myself with that. But just imagine being able to, like Richard mentioned, being able to have all of the ecosystems on Pulse Chain and be able to do what Ethereum does, but better and for cheaper. Why wouldn't you migrate to that chain or solution if it was more solid and more proven over time, just like Hex has been for the past almost 500 days?
Yeah. I like what Wales says here because this is how I feel. Whenever I have to spend some Hex on something, I'm not going to want to. So, yes, make it in USDC or something because I don't want to spend Hex on anything.
Way better.
Much rather just spend dollars on it. Here, take my nickels, take my quarters, take my dimes.
The way I see
I'll
it,
take
though,
my Hex.
is in order to get my Hex to USDC, I have to make another transfer, and that's just another waste of money. And I don't know why I'd be holding USDC. Like, that's just a shit coin. Why are you holding a shit coin? Keep it all in Hex.
Well, it won't matter if you have like a transaction coin, right?
Right.
You just use that.
If we have maybe just an option to use whatever is
I have insider info that it's called Cumcoin. Just so you know,
That's a real coin. Yeah.
it's a coin,
Jizz.
and you can count your own pulses when you come, and the more pulses you have, the more you get rewarded. It's proof of cum.
Nice.
Strap a hexagonal
Welcome.
device on your
Welcome
thing.
to the
and keep
FN
track of it.
Hangout.
All right. I'll be
FN
right
Hangout
back.
means family night.
What? Family night? Oh yeah,
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 FN.
for sure. Yeah.
Yo, Markable, you and Holodog got that European ASMR thing going on over there.
Oh yeah, we do.
Yeah.
All right.
Talk
Why?
softly to us, please.
Because of the mic or because of my
Yeah,
accent?
probably. I think it's both. It's the
Okay.
accent. You guys get the like nice, deep European voice going on.
Everyone can come a little bit more so they can get some mentals. They can get some coin.
And
You can stake your coin as well.
and pop culture news, I was watching the Winter or the
Pop,
Falcon
what
and Winter
transition there.
Soldier.
Dude, why
And they
are
had a cryptocurrency plug on their show tonight. I was like,
No.
hey, that's kind of cool.
Really?
Yeah.
Who did?
Yeah,
what?
someone
Where?
gets killed and they're like, hey, we got 1,000 Bitcoin bounty if you capture their killers. I was like, hey, that's
that's
cool.
awesome.
Yeah.
Mr. Beast is doing it as well, right? He's been, Mr. Beast, right?
Yeah, I've heard of
Yeah.
him. I've seen his stuff.
YouTuber guy, yeah.
He's, I think in his last video, he gave away $10,000 in Bitcoin. That's cool as well. He's, I think with, I'm not sure how it works with taxes, but like that guy has to have weird taxes because he gives away so much shit. And
It's all a tax write-off.
He has his own
write-offs,
charity.
Yeah.
yeah, makes sense. Yeah, I don't know, but anyway, he's using Bitcoin now as well as a giveaway, so that's pretty cool as well. Like he was like the biggest YouTuber or the fastest growing in 2020 or something like that. So that's pretty cool.
Guys' videos, they're pretty legit, dude. He spent 50 hours in a coffin 6 feet under.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy himself, he'll do things like arbitrary, random challenges that are unique, like going to a fast food 1,000 times in a day, and other things obviously too, right? But the guy himself is making quite a scene, and I actually saw a flashback of his channel when he was in high school 5 years ago, and he's like, man, I hope I can get 1 million views or 1 million subscribers, and he's 50 times that. So it's pretty cool to see other people's dreams becoming true by just being legitimate, being relatable.
Just hard work, man. Hard and smart work. Like he wasn't successful, but he just kept on going. And at some point, he just figured it out. And yeah, from then on, it's easy, right? From then on, he's just making and making and making. Like I heard his ideas to have a whole Mr. Beast campus and to have different sections on that campus where different content creation teams will be making content on gaming, on I don't know, whatever, cooking, on just anything you can imagine. They will have a content creation team ready to be making that, and they'll just be full-time making that stuff. That's the next level of content creation, where people really just people already get paid to create content, but they're part of a bigger ecosystem. Like for example, Mr. Beast. That guy is going places, man. He also has a Mr. Beast burger now, or he's I believe it's called Ghost Kitchen, where
I've heard about that. Sounds kind of cool.
That's
he needs we need to have a section of his compound for the Hex Beast channel.
Yeah,
have some kind of hex whale just giving away tons and tons of hex to different people and things.
RG, the frog is too green. And then
I saw that on your Twitter, RG. That looks like Pepe. Pepe Hex. Hex Pepe.
Big Pep.
Hey.
What's up? That's a cool frog, man.
Yeah, my daughter made me a Pepe. She
cool.
She made a pirate Pepe. Oh, you can't see him because he's green.
Mm-hmm.
So you put him up against there. No, he disappears, huh? Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks good.
Yeah. I woke up and it was laying there on the nightstand. Thought that was cool. She's making accessories for it too. So
I know one of Papa B's kids made the Hex logo in a LED background, and it's awesome to see, right? Hex is so inspirational that, I mean, just like with coin market cap and things like this, the Richard or whoever is behind Hex doesn't have to pay whoever is at CoinMarketCap just to be at the proper ranking, right? I mean, that's just a gatekeeping.
You mean extortion, right? Extortion.
That's exactly what it is. And people like Clay with Nomics that you're going to have on hopefully soon.
Next week.
They're legitimate. Yeah, they take the honest data and they pull it like it should be, right? Like the actual advertisement of their website says, which is honest data, not this, curating BS where like, oh, it is an extortion racket. No, it's legitimate.
And I feel once we're on our own chain, we're going to get even more transparent data that's going to be pretty awesome to keep track of.
Aren't you guys getting sick of those lights on your glasses, or don't you see them? Brand?
We can see your whole
Crypto
screen
King?
now, Crypto King.
Well, doxed.
What is it? Freedom?
There you go.
They get tiring for a few minutes, and then I just relate to the LED that should be going.
He can't. There you go. Your background.
There it goes.
Nice.
Nice.
Dude, when
And it's
Crypto
pulsing,
King
too.
wants to be on the stream, he's just in and out and in and out.
Yeah, he's got some bad internet going on tonight. So how you doing, Timmy? You back to us?
I believe so.
Well
how
done.
do I sound now?
You're sounding better.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's a little better, yeah.
Okay.
Good to see you, Tim.
Good to see you, man. I'm streaming on my laptop. This is the same device that I used when I was in the Hex conference. Looks like my phone can't handle all the... It crashed. So this device worked before, so hopefully it'll work tonight.
We'll see.
Nice. So what have you been up to, Timmy? How's the retired life treating you?
Well, it's good. I'm actually still fairly busy. I do things on my terms. That's really the big difference now. Been in the process of moving this whole past week, so I've actually been very busy. Retirement is almost like an oxymoron to describe my life right now.
It's a new job, man.
Hey, sorry guys, I'm back.
Welcome.
I can see
It's
fine.
okay. It's okay. We accept your apology for being bad.
We can handle it.
Let's see. Everybody's popping in and out. There. Okay, Scotty's back. Scotty's in. Okay.
Not me. I've been here the whole time.
Yeah, you should leave. No, joking, man.
There. So that's that.
I wanted to make a note for, hey Tim, you said do
Yes,
things
sir.
on my terms, and that's really key, man. I want to pull that out for the audience. That's what I've been noticing as well since I've been switching the story for myself around within my business, where I went from I need to get as many clients as possible and need to get a lot of revenue and all that, to fuck that shit, I'm going to do my thing because otherwise this is no fun, and I'll just do things on my terms. I don't get everyone as a client. I get some people as a client, and then we're doing cool shit. And from then on, the business just skyrocketed. And I think it's with everything in life, man. The moment you stop thinking about all the little things and trying to satisfy every need out there, the moment you do that and do things on your own term, everything will get better, man, for yourself, but also for everyone around you.
Yeah, I got a story about that. Just lately for me, that's what's happened. I've been working in the field I've been in for years and years and years. I mean, struggling, like trying to move up, trying to be something else other than just, superintendent. I wanted to be, in the office and handling all the operations and those kinds of things. And I have moved on to that, but it was always just one suck job after another suck job, just busting ass, making somebody else rich and this and that. And then finally, when I finally kind of like just let go and let it just kind of happen, I ended up in the right place. And now that it seems like now that like Hex has created this situation in my life where I don't have my future is a lot brighter than I've ever wanted it to be if Hex pans out to be what it already any more or equal to or any more than what it already has. has already changed my life significantly. So it's put me in a different kind of mental framework and a different type of attitude. And it seems that nothing but abundance is coming into my existence now, even in my work life. Like, I mean, deals are popping on my table. Like, I mean, I can't speak of them, but I've got one of the biggest deals in Southern California about to happen, and I'm one of 2 contractors that are getting to bid on the job. So it's like things are just falling in my lap now because of the freedom I feel, you know. And
congratulations, RG.
Thank you. I can't really talk about it too much, but anyway, it's but those are the and that's not the only thing. There's other things that have flopped on my table here that have just like I would have never been able to like go out and make these things happen. They're just starting to happen now on a regular basis. So it's like
that's what happens.
Abundance breeds abundance, and once you get in that mindset, that chill mindset, like I don't know if any of you have ever been a sales guy. But like, if you're behind on your numbers and you're trying really hard to hit your numbers, it's like you can't do it. It's just like it gets worse and worse and worse. But if you like, the first of the month comes and you blow like this massive deal, like the rest of the month is like smooth sailing. You're closing deal after deal after deal, and it just never ends. It's like you just get into this perpetual abundance mode, like, oh yeah, I'm just killing it now, because you don't have anything to worry about. You're not stressed, you're not worried, you're not pushing anything, and it's just like you're so chill that everyone just wants you to buy your shit, you know. And I don't know if any of you guys been in sales and experienced that, but it seems like it's a weird cycle, and it's that abundance cycle that like you hear Kareem talking about all the time. He's really good at explaining, you know, abundance and getting into that abundance mindset. It seems like he kind of just lives that way all the time. At least he speaks the teachings of it, that's for sure. But it's about, you know, that chill mindset you get into, like in the zone, they call it, getting in the zone, you know, and you just start, you know, just stacking everything on top. And that's the way it's been for me lately. But hey, we got another Hexican. This guy's my bro, man. This guy is like my equal. He's a Southern California dude. He's chill.
I'm not your equal.
Close
I'm
to
already on
you guys are all freaking
Liberty.
This is like this is my homeboy, actually, is what it is. So I'm gonna bring him up here, and we talk on a regular basis. But this is my buddy. Give me Liberty. What's happening, bud?
What's up, gentlemen? Good to see you.
Good to see you, man. What do we deserve this?
RG, let's be real. He's here because I'm here. Okay.
That's it. OC Brissology.
OC Briss.
I was
the guy
here
that
because
didn't call
of
me
Brissology as well.
during the last meetup. No, I was just I was inspired the other night. I was thinking about pulse chain, and I was thinking about organs that need a pulse and what's the most important thing. And I came up with circulation. I was like, you need good circulation. So instead of hoarding all my hex, I'm going to start spending some hex. So we're going to start getting that stuff circulating.
There you
have a good release, all right?
Just don't dump it anywhere.
No dumping. I was just thinking. Don't just
dump your seed somewhere.
All of our stakes were 1 year stakes at least, right? And now they're just kind of splashing into the treasure chest. And I was thinking, what a great way to go ahead and get more people in is just to start spending it, start giving it,
spreading it around.
Start spreading it around. So circulation. Pulse and circulation makes sense to me. So
our T-shirts are like little hex faucets, really.
You know, it's so true. I mean, hex really does sell itself. I mean, even if you can get someone to go to staker.app and you set up their own MetaMask for them, or even better yet, you teach them to understand the importance of a 12-word seed phrase. Staker.app is legitimate, and if you can give someone in the future, hopefully, pulse chain via Hex, that's going to be a lot cheaper to onboard, then it's going to be even better, right? The people that want to spend $100 to $500, they can actually spend it versus paying 20% of their onboarding cost in fees.
What's a staker wallet cost now?
Was it 30 or was it 60?
I think it was, last time I heard it was $60. So,
well, that's what it costs them. That's what it costs the staker. Like, that's what it costs Firebund and staff.
But they're not.
They just want to give it to anybody, right?
Yeah. But I mean, like, if I wanted to give my link to somebody, they're not getting a wallet, right?
It's taken about a couple weeks to get it. But I brought in 3 people yesterday. I'm not out there actively pursuing, but just ran into a couple people. So I just sent a telegram to Firebond. It's like, this is my buddy. We're going to put this much in right away. Can we go ahead and expedite that? And there was no cost, but they know at Staker app that, all right, this is going to start generating fees immediately. So they at least break even, right? I know Karim was fronting the money, but you don't need to pay for the wallet. Just make sure it pays for itself.
That's a good point.
So what I missed.
Sorry, if we can go back to the sales jobs, I'd like to talk about mine. One of my first jobs was a sales job. I used to sell vacuum cleaners door to door.
Kirby?
Yeah, the Kirby.
You're a Kirby guy?
Ooh, yeah, that was
that son of a bitch does everything but like turn into a sex doll or something, right? I mean, that thing.
No, you can use it as one.
Yeah.
You can use anything as a sex doll.
Yeah.
Oh, markable. You freaking Europeans, man.
But,
you guys fuck anything.
Yeah, I remember the hardships of being a freaking Kirby salesman, and now I'm a Hexican. Look at me now.
Well, yeah, that glowing personality.
What's a Kirby? I'm going to look it up right
Vacuum.
now.
It's a vacuum cleaner that like it's a air compressor.
So here's the deal. I was
best
selling
damn
that thing
vacuum
door
cleaner
to
on the
door,
planet.
and this was
Weighs
like
like
10
50
years ago, and I was selling them for $2,000. It's a $2,000 vacuum machine.
It's like $3,500 now, I think.
It's probably more than that.
Did you throw dirt all over their floor? Like,
no, it's already in there. It's a really good machine.
It really, I mean, they are. They're like the best damn vacuums on the planet.
You know, it comes like with this like little display bag that has like these like little white disc, and the whole like trick was to just vacuum up enough to where you put a little bit of dirt on the white disc, and then you pull it out, you set it down, you put another one in, and you do that like 100 times, and you just have 100 little white discs with like dirt all over them, all over the place, and you see like, see, that's what's inside your carpet, and
Right.
this is why this vacuum cleaner is superior and why it costs so much. How many do you need?
How many? Yeah.
It's like, you just screwed up my fucking rug, dude. Clean the whole thing now.
You know, that's the thing. You go, we will clean one room, and they're like, all right, one room, yeah, sure, completely free. But yeah, sales jobs. Anybody else have a sales job back in the day?
Yep. Well, not back in. Yeah, kind of back in the day. 3 years ago.
Still in the day?
Ish. No, I was selling electricity contracts from door to door as well. That was interesting because right at the beginning, like, I got that job just to get better at selling and get better at just socializing with people, because I was terrible at it. Like, I rang the door at the beginning. I can remember the first day I did that. I rang the door and I was just hoping that no one would open. And then after that, I could only say hi, and then that was it. I couldn't do anything more, man. I just froze, and then I just went to the next door.
It is the most important skill on the planet.
Yeah, man.
If you can learn how to sell, then you will always have a job, and you will always have a high-paying job.
I really think everyone should do that job for at least half a year or a year. Go from door to door, or do some kind of cold calling or whatever. Yeah. Because what I've been doing, like, I almost got fired within 5 days because I couldn't sell anything. And then, so my twin brother, he was really good at selling stuff, and he was in the same company. And so my sales coach asked my brother, hey, Mark is not performing well. I'm going to fire him. Should I give him a little bit more time? And my brother said, yeah, he'll figure it out. And that was the good option, because at the end of the year, I was the fifth place volume of sales in the Netherlands that I did. Just one I only sold like 1 day a week, and I was still in the 5th place of the entire team throughout the whole country. So that was pretty cool. And that was only, again, because I learned my shit, and then I just let go. Then I just hanged around on the street and just sold whatever I wanted to sell. And then at some point it got so bad that I would just be smoking on the street and just hang out, teach other people how to sell, and not sell anything at all because I didn't feel like it. And then at some point my sales coach called me. This was like when I was almost a year in. He called me and he said, "Mark, what the fuck is happening? You haven't touched a single door," because he can track that because we have to put it in. He said, "Dude, you haven't gotten to a single door in 3 hours. What are you doing?" I said, "Yeah, I don't feel like it, man, but I'll sell some." He said, "Yeah, you damn sure you're going to sell something." So then I went to the first 2 doors that I went to. I sold the contracts, and like the normal was like 2 or 3 contracts. So I was like, "Yeah, that's it for today," and I'll go.
A lot of it's in your mindset. You got to just have that mindset.
Yeah, man, definitely. It
people,
wasn't just because I was just chilling, and people love to buy from cool people.
Yeah,
a lot of that's it.
If you carry a positive energy, it really helps.
Yeah.
All right, guys, I gotta head out. Actually, it's great talking to you.
All right, Scotty. Good having you, bro.
Thank you, Scotty.
Turns out Scotty does know.
I try.
Okay, buddy.
Nice meeting you guys.
I miss you already, Scotty.
You ever get the lonely housewife that starts offering you a glass of wine? Hey, Mr. Sales guy.
Oh boy, here we go.
How would you like a glass of wine? Can I fix you a stiff drink?
You know what else I used to sell door to door? It was the ADT alarm systems. Dildos? No, not quite. ADT alarm systems. They would always take us to these brand new housing tracks that were just constructed, and people like starting to move in, and you just knock on the doors. "Can we sell you a security system?" And then they're like, "Man, you guys are here every freaking day."
Yeah.
I'm like, "Oh man, it's my first time here. My boss dropped me off."
Now you can't even answer your phone these days, right? Every call's like a sales call these days.
No,
I like now my phone warns me. It says telemarketer, or it says
that's cool.
Scam likely.
Scam likely, or something like that. I'm like, oh, cool. I don't have to answer it now.
They should do that with crypto. Scam likely.
There you go.
They do. They've done it with Hex from the beginning.
But dude, no shit, man. Now Hex has a verified check mark on etherscan.io. Cool. So
that's great.
That's awesome. I mean, Richard Hart has richardhart.com. We've got these things that are happening before the Lex Friedman, the all awaiting Lex Friedman interview and podcast. And I think it's smart to possibly solve some of the onboarding solutions and fees for the short-term cycle and the long-term future of Hex, because if you're going to have such a possibility of magnitude and such a, I mean, today we saw The Economist magazine, like I showed you guys before, but even things like this that can kind of spiral into the upwards S-curve of the adoption, I mean, it pays to be able to onboard every single person that sees the podcast.
Sure.
Yeah, one of the most powerful tools in our tool bag is we're building up a community of long-term holders, and that's, I think, way more powerful than almost anything else. I mean, all these other communities are all about pump and dumping and getting their quick share real quick, and we're building up a community of long-term holding mindset, and that's what's really going to drive Hex far into the future. And I know that when I saw other Hexicans start talking about doing 555 stakes, it made me personally a lot more comfortable with it. And then that's when I started doing it.
At first you weren't. You were like, "Oh man, I haven't put my stakes out there that long."
Hell no. I was, back in 2019, It was a different world back.
You even had a Hex FUD Twitter handle, didn't you?
No, not at all.
I didn't know.
Yeah, no, don't.
I didn't know you were a pleb.
I fell for some of the FUD, but I never had a FUD thing. The FUD back in the early days were.
Remember when you got kicked out of the Telegram chat?
I never got kicked out of anything.
Yeah, you did.
This is my original name, really. That was my original account.
Okay.
But no, I never got kicked out. I just probably got like worried about something stupid, and then people are like, "Why are you worrying about that?"
Yeah,
I was like concerned troll. That was my thing. I was a concerned.
You were a
like,
concerned troll,
but not really. Not that
bad.
I mean, can you tell me what I concerned trolled? No, so I must not have.
Oh, guess what?
You were concerned trolling the whole time about my dirty carpet. Like that.
I said,
there's record, by the way. Oh, you can go into Telegram and go all the way back. There's record. It's all in the record.
I remember that. I can't remember exactly what he said because someone called him out on it.
I remember when they asked, they were like, "Hey, RG, you didn't come up with the Hexican term. It was spoken about before." So I was like, "Okay, well, my bad." So I went back and I looked at the history of who was speaking about Hexican, and somebody did mention it a long time ago, like in 2000. I think it was in 19 or something, early days. Someone said it. But I never saw it, and it never took on until we had a vote. We had a vote like in February or something, of what we were going to call ourselves, and I threw that in there, and I didn't know, and it came up, and so we voted on it, and everybody voted for Hexican, and we started calling ourselves Hexican. So I always thought, hey, I fucking made that, But somebody did mention it one other time, but I never heard that person say it. But it's in the record. It's all in there. You can see it all. Go back.
I just want to say, I want to put on record again that I was actually the very, very first person to nominate Richard for a Nobel Prize in economics. Okay, I was the very first person.
You guys are funny.
Did you submit that?
It's in Telegram somewhere.
It have to be submitted before.
I think you have to submit it outside of Telegram to make it happen. So get it out there.
I know I had several tweets directly to the Nobel organization about them getting nominated.
Now, see, I know Crypto King will do that. He will go out there and actually tell the real people what's supposed to happen.
Yeah.
The second I saw who won last year, and it was like two gentlemen about something about auctions. I was like, Hex and Richard, they need one. Like, it's just a matter of seeing who won it last year and then seeing what Hex is doing, and then it's no brainer.
Well, crypto just has to, survive another. I think this might be crypto's year to actually like survive and be part of the real world. I think
go mainstream.
Go mainstream. I think 2018 was like its demise. And everybody lost faith in it and all that kind of stuff. Now I think it's back, and then I think that this year might solidify itself in the real world because now everybody's talking about it. You go to your bank and your banker wants you to. He's got a product that has crypto in it. I mean, every large bank has a crypto product now, or one coming out real soon. So, I think this is crypto's big year.
And
Visa's taking USDC too. So Visa, PayPal are going to start taking crypto now. So
yeah, who else just did that too? Somebody just did ETH. Visa, right? Visa's doing ETH.
Visa's going to do USDC, and then PayPal's going to do crypto. So you can pay with crypto now. So that's big. I mean, as big as PayPal is, and then you can pay with crypto for them. So it's not the same as buying at a Robinhood or just, holding the ticker. You're going to be able to actually use it. So that's big.
But we don't need, I know it's, I don't like cheerleading those industries getting into space, because crypto was designed to get rid of those people. So this thing about MasterCard and PayPal, that's good for maybe the newbies, but people that have been in crypto for know what crypto was designed for. That's a no.
Right. No, it's just they need the bubble to keep. They need to keep inflating the bubble. But I mean, as far as
people to join as well.
I'm with you on that.
Crypto King,
bring it attention.
I respectfully disagree. I think crypto is meant for everybody, including the people that you don't like. And that unfortunately involves the big bankers.
I want their money more than I want anybody's
Yeah,
money.
I want them to pad my bank account.
The problem is
they're
they
already-
keep printing it, though. The problem
All
is
you
that
guys that got
we're
ex-wives that
fighting
are
to-
digging in your pockets, I want their money.
Yeah, the problem is that when they keep printing it, though,
Give me your
they
money.
can buy all the crypto they want, and they just keep printing more money, and they can buy it. But we cannot be, paying $150 gas fees,
Right.
and they just keep buying more hex. But they can just keep. They can buy $100,000 Bitcoin. They can buy $1 million Bitcoin. All they have to do is just call the Fed and be like, "Hey, we just need another zero, need another comma," but we're screwed. So I'm with Crypto King on that one. Like it's just we're fighting a bigger,
It's gonna make my cryptos more valuable. I'm happy.
I think
The
you just
thing-
keep hitting singles. As today I sold one for my wife. She didn't know that I'd bought a Bitcoin for her half a year ago, and today I sold it for her, and I told her what it was worth, and she's an attorney in the real world, and she looked at me like, "What are you talking about?" I was like,
Now
"I'm
she
gonna go ahead and
finally likes
should I
me.
write you a check or should I just send it to your account?" And she's like, "That stuff's for real. That's like real money." I was like, "You have
People
like
don't
4
get
more
it,
of them,
man.
honey. I didn't tell you." I bought a couple.
Smart man.
So she's not going to
That's
leave me
cool.
this month, so that's good.
That's good. This month, yeah.
I
There
have
you
the
go.
seeds. I
She
have the
likes you
keys.
this month.
So.
Yeah.
She's like, "You better write the seed words down in case something happens to you." I'm like,
You can trust me.
I know.
Whatever.
My
You can
wife
trust
made me
me,
put
right?
them in the safe deposit box the day before yesterday. Actually, I went over there and put all the seed words in the safe deposit box.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Shamir, secret
And that
sharing.
was
What's cool?
since that day, RG has never been found.
It's all theirs anyway.
we made a pact when we got married that we wouldn't shoot each other. I was like, "Can we make a pact right now that we just won't shoot each other?" And we agreed on that, so that was
King, your
good.
mic's killing mic's killing the stream. That's why I'm muting you, because I can just hear feedback on it every time anybody talks coming through your mic.
But what do you guys think about, like, I know Bitcoin was meant to be sent, right? It was meant to be bartered with, but we don't talk about that with Hex, right? We talk about locking it up.
No,
And
because
we all
it's a-
do it, whether we have
because
a
it's a real
Shy
store
Shrimp
of value.
wallet or if you have a whale wallet, regardless. But I mean, how long before we do start exchanging Hex? I think that'd be kind of cool. It's a great way to onboard people. I'm looking into hiring someone. I got inspired by Gary or funding Jim. He was having his renters pay him in Hex. But I started telling this young lady, "Look, if you want $15 an hour, why don't I give you $10 an hour in check and $5 an hour in Hex, right? Every time I owe you $1,000, I'll just, we'll create a staker wallet for you and I'll pay you in Hex." I could change your world. Someone that's making $15 an hour, but if they start getting Hex and staker, and then Pulse makes it so the fees are reasonable, and we could be moving Hex around like crazy.
It would make sense in that way, like how you're doing it. That's actually a pretty cool idea. But like in a general sense of transaction, that wouldn't make sense, I think, because it's a too good store of value. Like something that goes up in value, I would never transact normally in that. I would give it away in the way that you're describing it, like giving in that way to other people. But I wouldn't transact with it. I think we could have something similar, but then it shouldn't have such an incentive to hold it, I think.
Well, Markable, if you have, let's say you Markable, you're a dolphin or a shark and you have 100 million units, and you have 30,000 units splashing into your wallet every day, to start giving it to people to bring on new adopters. All they need is a staker wallet. I owed someone $500 this week. Oh no, wait. Someone owed me $500, so I just told her, I was like, get you a staker app, this, that. Now she has some Hex in her wallet, and then she sent me $500 on Zelle, whatever Zelle is. It's like through your bank, I guess. So the $500 popped up in my account. I was kind of sad to get rid of the $500 worth of Hex. There's like 25,000 units or so. But I think I did something great for somebody who didn't know what Hex was.
That is something amazing, yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah.
And if it grows for her, great. But for us, it's just like, if you've been around for a year, you have at least a, an octopus or whatever, right? Cool crab or whatever. It's not, you're not spending all your Hex, right?
No, I get that. It's just financially, it's not sound. But
and we can't.
It's fun.
It's the opposite of the greed wallet, right? So you got the greed wallet. Hey, we're going to be worth $100 billion or whatever, and then you get the real world wallet, right? Let's get some Hex circulating and get more people. And then it comes back to the circulation. I thought it was a play on words, but with Pulse. But let's get this stuff circulating, and the more it circulates, the more people are going to experience Hex, and that's more users, more wallets, more. So it can only help, I think.
No, I think Pulse is going to be the answer to that. And you're right. Actually people using it and having ease of use is going to make people want to use it. So you'll get more adoption that way. Like you said, hey, set you up a wallet and then I'll just send you some. Here you go. Now,
that's right.
I'll pay you in it, or, hey, I'll give you some funds versus what I owe you in it. So check it out, and here's what you can do with it. And I think that's going to be the easier way to get mass adoption, is people being able to use it, and that chain is going to be key. The chain is going to be key, because right now onboarding people and then having it's hard enough to onboard, let alone having them pay those fees. I think that fees is like, that's the deal fucking killer right there.
Yeah, for sure.
Is those damn fees, And,
I tell people, I'm like, honestly, you gotta be in this for a minimum of a year.
That's right.
And that makes the fees a little more bearable, but even then.
What do you have to say, Tim?
Richard has addressed this issue before of using Hex as a medium of exchange, and he does not agree with that. And he explained why. Basically, it devalues the product to use it in that manner. Now, as you're talking about give me Liberty and Markable, if you're using Hex, if you're circulating it for the express purpose of onboarding new people, then you're adding value to the system. But if you're just going to use Hex as a substitute for the dollar, that's actually going to have a reverse effect. It's not going to make Hex more valuable. I don't remember the details, but Richard did explain on a live stream about why that is. So,
well, because Hex is meant to stake, and that's the true value of it, is the long-term hold versus a store of value, circulating. Yeah. Because people who do just get it as an exchange are going to exchange it for dollars, and that's just going to constantly be selling the price down.
Yeah.
So I get that part of it. But using it as an onboarding tool to, exchange funds to somebody and explain to them what Hex is all about is
that's amazing.
That's a different game.
That makes it really easy to hook people, because the moment they see their staker app, the moment they see the things appreciating, they're hooked, man. Like the people, this is funny. I onboarded my entire family, and they first they were like, yeah, all right, Mark says we have to buy this, and then they weren't hyped at all, and all of a sudden we got the 70% increase, and they were like, this is interesting, and all of a sudden they saw their interest go up as well, right? And the people that didn't go in, now they want in, because they're like, dude, I can't miss on more, and that creates eyeballs. So it's definitely a good way. Like,
that's what got me into crypto.
Things.
I bought a little bit of Bitcoin in like 14, and it sat there, and I sent somebody asked me to send them some Bitcoin. I sent them some Bitcoin, and then the one that stayed, the Bitcoin that stayed in there, I looked at it one day and it was like, holy shit, that was my change. What the hell happened here? And that's when I FOMO'd into crypto. I'm like, oh man, I gotta find out what the hell this is really all about, And so seeing a little bit of Hex sit in their wallet and change, over the months, weeks, might make them FOMO in.
So
the
good
last
point.
2 people that I onboarded, I didn't have to sell them Hex at all. It's like they were already convinced that it was a legit thing. All I had to do was answer their questions. You guys were talking earlier about sales.
The number one question: how much did you make?
Well, I didn't make anything because I didn't sell them Hex at a profit. I just showed them how to get a wallet and buy it through Uniswap and stake it. So, but it's like, if you actually believe in the product that you're representing, it literally sells itself. If you're just trying to sell something for a profit, well, then you have to somehow get around that, to convince somebody to make you profitable. But if with Hex, it's when you see how awesome it actually is, and people see that awesomeness, it practically sells itself. It's just a matter of you answering their questions.
This is a great point.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, this is a great point George Chops makes. Pulse and Hex working together. Oh, wait a minute. I missed it. I'm sorry, guys. It was actually Trustless that I was trying to pull up. Ethereans didn't like RH with Hex. They're going to hate him with Pulse. And that is true, man. The ETH folks didn't like us from the get-go. And they are going to absolutely fucking hate us after this.
Bring your heroes. Bring your heroes.
Exactly.
Out of all the cryptos, I think Hex has been just the easiest to onboard people with. Like I feel like I'm not even trying, and they're like, okay, I'm download MetaMask. Okay, go to ethhex.com. Okay, I'm like, dang, this is like pretty easy. With like other coins, like because I've been around since 2013, telling people about Bitcoin and Litecoin, things like that, and people are like, they're just so resistant. But like I said, with Hex, I feel like I've onboarded way more people on the Hex than any other crypto.
Because it's the only thing that makes sense,
dude.
It's a good time now. I mean, you called them up. I sent a text to one of my buddies the other day, and I was like, "Hey," and I think he got in right after October 31st. I think we hit 1.5 pennies. And over the next couple months, I called him, and he was down. Of course, his account value was down. I had him on Staker app, and then I texted him this week, like, "How's your Hex doing? Have you doubled?" And he wrote back, "I tripled." And that was pretty cool, I mean, because when we're telling our friends about this, and they're going in a big way, right? Whatever a big way means to you. And then you just hate to be that guy if something went wrong. You got to go see your friends, and you're like, "Sorry, dude, I got you into this." But we're getting one positive story after another where people are like, "Thank you, man," or what. They don't even need to thank me. It's just so happy for them that something positive is going on.
I'm always worried about getting like someone into something and then watching it drop and being like, I feel like a big asshole, But with Hex now, dude, I'm so freaking bullish on Hex. I'm just telling people, I'm like, I don't give a shit about the fees. Just stake longer, but get in. This is freaking once in a lifetime opportunity. How's it going, Toby One?
Hey, fellas, how's it going?
Good, man. How you doing?
I'm tired, but I'm good. I'm glad to be on with everybody. And hey, I was just gonna take a jab at Liberty real quick. You mentioned earlier how he had paid one of his employees partially in Hex, and that he had given him $25,000 in exchange for $500. So I bet she's pissed right now.
I haven't seen.
But she'll get it. I'm just teasing. I'm just teasing. In the long run, I'm sure that will be fantastic. It's like I've actually done similar things, not in lieu of payment, but just as little bonuses for some of my employees. Yeah. But I just wanted to take a poke at you when you said 500 for 25,000. I did my Kareem and did the quick maths on that, and I'm like, oh, wait a minute, we're below 2 cents, so her wallet's not showing $500 anymore.
We'll see. I don't know. Yeah, we'll see what it is. And based on what Brasology just said, I don't care. I love Hex. I always tell everyone, though, I say the same 4 things every time. I say, do your own research, protect your keys, don't get greedy, right? You got to keep greed out of it. I mean, it's exciting. And I say, don't get sued. So, just watch what you say. And as long as I could deal with their expectations someone yesterday told me, yeah, you said from the get-go this is throwaway money, right? And our throwaway money in the United States or wherever you guys are from is so much more than throwaway money in Venezuela or El Salvador, or think of all the places in the world where there's no money. Like, I just say, just use your throwaway money, whatever throwaway money means to you, and hopefully it works out. But don't expect anything from me, you know.
Right. Well, Gee, what's interesting too is that voice chat. I don't know how many of you guys have participated in that, but that's been fantastic for collaborating and fleshing out ideas. And Steph hopped on there the other day, and we were talking about, I can't remember, I think it might have been identity block, or maybe it was Benjamin. I didn't see who was talking about, not spending Hex, but using it to onboard. And, I was sharing with Steph how I had created about 20, probably almost 30 wallets at this point, where I've done them in batches with Firebun. And then there's a considerable discount if you do them in groups. So they're not $60 a piece, it's substantially less than that. And then I try to do them in groups, so I'm not paying a huge ETH fee to send them the donation. And then I send them the list of email addresses, and then they release all of those. And then subsequently, before the ETH started getting too crazy, and it bounces around. I did some stuff the other day for like $35, so it wasn't horrible. But yeah, I sent everybody an average of like $100 worth of Hex. So that seemed great initially. And then once they were in Staker and they tried to stake, by the time they paid the staker fee and the gas fee, it was cutting that $100 I'd given them nearly in half. So they were a little frustrated with that. So that's a bummer. And then just to kind of go a little deeper into that, I think there are use cases for Staker. I'm sure that, Steph and Firebun would not disagree with me on this. It's been a little anticlimactic, the release, but it was for unforeseen reasons. With the gas fees going up so high, it just got unsustainable for them to try to continue those wallets. But I think it's going to be a sleeper. I think we all got really hyped that Staker was coming out. It was like, oh man, this is going to be easy onboarding, and we're just going to go to the moon because it's going to be like, the rocket fuel for the ship. And here we go, right? And then all of a sudden it was like, wham, wham, what's up, Papa? So, so anyhow, it's man, how do you not get distracted when that face pops on your screen, right?
Yeah,
I love that, dude.
Is this the voice chat with moving pictures?
Absolutely, right. So it's a little anticlimactic, but I mean, to my point of it being a sleeper is that they literally have tens of thousands of people that have downloaded this app that are backlogged. So they're slowly releasing some because it's not cost efficient for them to do so. In a future update, they're going to allow people to pay to release their own wallet. But that's also a little anticlimactic. It's like, here's a free app, and then, oh, by the way, it's going to be $50 for you to actually use it. So that's kind of a little like a wah too. But
it's hard when there's so many wallets out there that you can just download for free,
Right,
so
right, yeah.
For this one.
Right. So comparatively, it's a little bit of a bummer, but the sleeper factor is because they're working on an L2 solution as well to address the fees. So as soon as they get that under control, the Staker app fee itself is not really that substantial. Plus, they're looking at reducing that. So right now, if you do, I like to call it slow math because I can't keep up with Kareem's quick maths. He talks too fast, and unless I've had like a couple of Adderall or 5 cups of coffee, I just can't do it. So I call mine slow math. And if you look at somebody onboarding and they're like, hey, I want to go ahead and put in some more money on Staker, and they use Transact and they spend $500, and by the time the fees are done, they end up with $450 in their wallet. They can't buy Hex directly, so they're going to buy Ethereum or they're going to buy USD, right? For anybody that's done it so far, I did it myself just to feel it. So you end up with $450. So boom, you're taking a 10% hit right off the rip. Then you're an ETH or USDC. Well, you can't do anything with that really except swap it. Well, now you're going to swap it. So now you're going to pay another gas fee and another staker fee. So now you're down maybe another $50. So now your 500 is down to 400. Now you got Hex. Now you're ready to stake it. So now you do your stake, and let's say you do a single stake. Well, there's another $50. And now you're down to 350. So that's super anticlimactic. That's a real bummer for people. And I understand that in the long run, it's like, okay, hey, when they're taking that stake out in 15 years and it's thousands of dollars, they're not going to give a shit. But Do the math on that. I think Brizology was talking about earlier, you know, somebody asked him, like, if I put $1,000 in, what's that going to be worth in 5 years? Well, that's $150 they didn't get to stake as Hex. That's $150 that went out the window primarily to gas fees. It's no fault of Staker. That's just the shit that's going on with Ethereum. So it is lackluster in that regard. There's one use case that I've figured out, trying to work this out with my onboards that are all kind of eyeballing me, like, why did you get me into this thing? This is kind of not ideal. And then they're all asking for the old school method. So now I'm doing the handhold through Coinbase to MetaMask to go.hex.com, and everything's taken exponentially longer to explain. But the one case where it does work currently is if they're doing a larger amount of money from Coinbase, get their Ethereum there, transfer it to MetaMask, convert it to Hex there with Matcha, get yourself on board for the potential airdrop, do it through MetaMask Swap if you haven't done their potential airdrop. There's some upside to those. Then you've got your Hex. You've had a minimal fee to move that from Coinbase to MetaMask. You got a minimal fee to move it onto Staker as Hex. And now you got one fee and not a single stake, but if you're going to do a ladder, if you do a ladder, it is actually a fair amount cheaper. And like, for example, one of my onboards was about $8,000. They did a 20 rung ladder. The staker fee was about $160 because it caps out at $200. It's 2%. So basically anything over 10,000, actually it has, the returns get better as far as the impact of the fee, if that makes sense. So basically the staker fee portion was $160 and the gas fee on it was like $425. So altogether they were out about 5 something. But if they tried to do a 20 rung ladder, at that point, I think it worked out, I don't have the numbers in front of me, but basically I think it was about $25 a stake at that point. It cost them about $7 more per stake at the end of the day. So yeah, they spent another $140 they wouldn't have otherwise. However, that saved them from doing 20 stakes and however long that may have taken and what they could have fucked up along the way doing it on go.hex.com. So I think there are cases where that's useful, but I think it's really important that we are careful when we explain this to people that we're onboarding, because I had a guy reach out to me the other day and he was really upset because he had been informed of how he needed to send his 10 ETH directly to Staker by a community member. Told him to do that had referred him. He sends his 10 ETH, then he has to transform it to Hex, pays his fee, and then after that he had to do a stake, and he was only doing a single stake. And he had told the guy, all I want to do is a single stake. By the end of the day, it basically cost him about $500 more in fees than he would have had to pay had he been informed of doing it the long way. Of course, should the guy have done his due diligence? Yeah. But, as a community member that's onboarding through these mechanisms, it looks really shitty that this guy spent $500. Like Brizology said, that $1,000 stake could have been, $132,000? So that $500 could be $60,000 for that guy someday. But instead, it went out the window in fees because it wasn't properly explained to them the most cost-effective way to use the tools that we have at our disposal. So I think it's just really imperative that we do that. Yeah, I mean, we have a responsibility to the community to make sure that we understand what we're doing and when we onboard people, and that we do our damnedest to make sure they understand it so it doesn't reflect poorly on what we're trying to elevate, which is Hex as a finished fucking product that's going to change the world.
That was a long way around. ETH sucks.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you for summarizing. So
I just wanted to dumb it down a little bit.
Sorry, man. That's been in my
I'm telling you, this is. We should be seeing like an altcoin fucking pump. We should be seeing, an altcoin season, but ETH has killed it, man. It's just, and these damn NFTs, they just fucking killed it, man. It's just, we got Bitcoin just monster moons, and Ethereum's not doing too bad. It went over 2K today, right? Didn't it?
Yeah, it finally leapfrogged 2K. So it might start making moves. But yeah, it's just sucking all the economic energy out of everything. It's like, NFTs are Oh, I'm sorry, Briz. I didn't see you talking there.
No, I was just saying, like a year ago, Ethereum was like $100. So to say it's
Right.
not really doing anything is a little.
Yeah, I mean, it's still outpaced Bitcoin long run, but lately Bitcoin's getting all the headlines. You know what I mean? Because like they tripled their all-time high, and ETH is barely 30% above theirs. So yeah, I mean, I see both cases, but it's just sucking out all the economic energy, all these gas fees. So it's
Yeah,
and I
that's
think
what I'm
that's what
saying.
Richard,
It has nothing to do with the price. The price has done just fine. I mean, ETH is marketed it well. Of course, because Bitcoin maxis are like all over Bitcoin's chops right now, and Ethereum is just getting second fiddle, and then the fees are making it real easy for. I mean, that's all you see the maxis doing is fudding the fees.
Right. Well, who's that Pompolio guy, or what's that fucking guy that was on Friedman the other day? Andrew or Anthony? Yeah, that guy.
Pompliano.
Dude, he was. Do you guys ever watch Andrew Schultz? It's Flagrant 2. It's kind of like a comedy podcast.
I've seen it.
But he kind of a follow up to Friedman. He ended up on that thing, and man, it was just nauseating because he was just so. I mean, it was just maxi pad central. Just shoving Bitcoin down these newbies' throats, and they were just gobbling it up, because they don't know any different. They're new to crypto, and they think that Bitcoin's the second coming, and there's nothing else that's better.
Right.
And it was disappointing. So I mean, I just can't wait until like the Friedman thing happens, and then Richard just starts to get more broad exposure. The Pulse chain, his new website, richardhart.com. I don't know if you guys have all checked that out yet. That's looking really good. Just to get the good word out there, and especially with Pulse Chain and with Staker as well, trying to get those fees down. I mean, think about all the little guys that they can't get in. They can't get in right now. They can't. I mean, we all start. I mean, like one of my earliest stakes was $70. I could not do that right now. It would not be cost effective to try to do that at this point.
No.
And I mean, Richard, that's what hooked me. And then here
Richard
I am.
About that. But Richard was talking about that too, and he was talking about people that don't have the means to get into it, right, or complaining about fees. Just to clarify, one thing you said, Toby Wan, and I think you said you gave free money to people you're trying to onboard. I don't know what you guys think about that, but I've been thinking about that. I don't think anyone respects anything they get for free, except maybe Crypty Girl, who got 2.5 million. But
she got wealth. She didn't get some free coins. She got some free wealth, is what she got.
But like I feel I could save people some fees in the get go until they're So I send them. So they open up Staker. I pay $12 to send them $1,000 or whatever, right? I got a little bit postpartum, or what do they call that when you separate from something? Because I don't want to sell my stuff
separation anxiety
at 2 pennies, right? I'm like, gosh, I'm giving this away when the price is 2 pennies, right? I would normally just let that pull just keep growing and growing, but I think I did someone a favor because they got it in their Staker wallet, and now all they got to do is pay to stake it and then forget about it. So they didn't have to transfer, figure out how to get dollars in there or ETH in there and then all those little steps. I think so. That's the concept about circulating. If we can circulate some of our change, you know what I mean? And, so 1 year stakes are all coming due. I've had 5 of them mature, and it's like restake 13 years in the future, and you got your change sitting there, right? So I'm going to do it with my brother-in-law. He has no patience to sit around. Staker wallet. Dude, Zeal me or Venmo me $1,000. I'm going to put $1,000 of Hex in your wallet, pay the fees to stake it, and forget about it. It could work, but don't give away free stuff because nobody cares when you give them free stuff.
I tell you what, to a degree, I agree with that. But from my experience with this, I've done about 30 wallets so far. Now, granted, most of these are friends, and pretty much all of them are friends and family, right? So it's people I know personally. Sphere of influence. So, but granted, the vast majority of those people haven't followed up with any money of their own to put in, but there are some on the periphery that are watching what we started with. Because when I put it in, I mean, we started this maybe about a month ago, and it was before the pump. It was we were under a penny, and so they got to see those wallets grow. And like some people, I was like back in January, I started them off. So some of my employees and stuff, so they're looking at it and seeing that growth, and now they're starting to ask like, well, how do I get in? And then, I feel compelled to tell them the long way because, going through Transact and trying to pay all those fees and, getting triple dipped before you can finally stake, it's just not cool. So, you know, I do the long way around. I give them my Coinbase link, referral link, whatever. They do it that way if they want to feel compelled to do it. And probably 70% of them haven't really followed up with any money of their own. However, those other 10 stakes that I've put, you know, staker wallets that I've helped set up with for people, I think last tally was just over 100 grand that those people have contributed of their own money to get in and put stakes out. So that was kind of surprising to me. I didn't think it would be that adopted, but I think one of the things that really put it over the top for a lot of my on boards, and I want to share this, actually, any of you guys in the chat or on screen, if you're interested and want to get like kind of a pre-copy of it, it's going to be free at some point anyhow, but and I've talked about it on stream before, but it's a spreadsheet I've been using for a while. It's Brennan's spreadsheet. I've streamlined it to where it's a lot more user-friendly. You literally just punch in your beginning and end dates, your principal, and your T-shares, and it has a predictive element to it that gives you an idea of basically what that stake will be worth. So Briz was talking about, you know, hey, my friend asked me what's $1,000 going to be worth in 5 years. And then he did the math on it, probably has a sheet of his own. But this is really cool because you can actually put in, like I have a demonstration sheet now. I think I might have sent it to Bran, maybe not. But I can send it to whoever wants to look at it. But basically I put 15 stakes in. I updated it today. So it has current T-share values. Each stake is $500, which is about 30,000 hex. And it shows you the huge difference between a 1-year stake and a 5-year stake, and the monumental difference between a 5-year stake and a 15, as far as what that growth will be with that compound interest plus the appreciation. And it's very, very conservative. It's literally estimating hex being at $1 in 15 years. And still, a $500 stake will be well over $1 million in 15 years.
Toby, one though, I mean, you and many of us spent the last 15 months figuring it out. I mean, some of us even longer than that, right? When we were trying to figure out how to Bitcoin claim, and we're just giving it for free. Let me explain to you the difference between a 1-year stake, 5-year stake, and a 10-year stake. Some people got to learn on their own. I mean, you look at Litecoin Moses, right, with his daily stakes. He learned the hard way, right? It's like, holy cow!
Right.
I mean, we can't save the world, and we can't bring everyone with us too. So, like my little brother, I told him, send me a little bit of money. I'll set up a wallet. My little sister sent the money. My brother didn't. Well, guess what?
Sure.
My little sister in 2 years, 4 years, 6 years, 8 years, and 10 years is getting a big check from me. And my little brother's check's going to my mom. It's not going to him because he never paid for it. And I can't sit there and cry for him. I'm like, dude, I told you about this. You did nothing about it. So our job is not to save the world. All we can do is many are called and few are chosen, right?
Certainly.
Oh, that's cool. Many are called and few are chosen.
Yeah, I used to back in 2018 when everything rose in 2017. You know, I'm like 2018. I'm like, hey guys, you know, Bitcoin's the next big thing. We're going to 100 grand. It's not stopping. And so, but the fees on Bitcoin were like super high. So I'm like, I need to get you guys into crypto. So I started giving people like Litecoin. I'd give them like $10 in Litecoin. And again, this is 2018. So everything started slumping down. It's like $10 turns into $8, turns into $7. And they're just kind of looking at this like oh, great. Thank you for the internet coupon. But there's nothing I can really buy for $7, nor do I really want anything, you know. And so they just kind of, I think everyone that I gave money to lost it, threw it away, didn't really care. And so, you know, after that time period, I stopped giving away money to people. So I'm just like, something given has no value. And so, and with that said, I've never given any hex to anybody, and people are onboarding themselves and they're onboarding other people. And
sure.
It's
well, you know, I mean, it's like you cheapskates can do whatever you want. I mean,
the only people I give money to is kids. If they're under 18, if they can't get into their own deal, then I get them. You know, I got all my nieces and nephews. I got them wallets. Those are the only people that I've ever given hex to. The rest of them, I might give you some ETH to help you get onboarded, but you're going to get your own damn hex.
Hey, RG, I got that's my cue. Hold on a second. I got a quick story from last night. Took my kids out to dinner. And here's how my economic energy is being sucked from my pockets to my kids. I got 2 kids sitting at the table, 10 and 13, boy and girl. Girl says, hey, Dad, you know, Vlad the Impaler used to kill his people. You know, I used to do it. He used to have this long pole, the fucking metal pole or a wooden pole. He stick it up there, poop shoot, and prop them up, and then they would impale them. That's why he's called Vlad the Impaler. My son says, whoa, 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 whoa. This is a dinner table. We don't talk about any steaks except Hex steaks at this table. And I'm like, son, you get 10,000 Hex. And the daughter says, but Daddy, how's he going to pay for gas? And my son lets out the biggest fart you've ever heard. And I'm like, 20,000 Hex. And my daughter's like, I got to sit in the fart cloud. And I said, you know what? You get some wit and you'll get some Hex too.
Yeah, but if you have a bunch of nieces and nephews, let's say 10 of them, you give them all wallets. Only 2 of them you're going to like 10 years from now. The other 8 are going to be a bunch of punks.
And then if you don't want to give it to them, you can go give it to your girlfriends or whatever.
They're going to pour out their beer. This is to Uncle RG. May he rest in peace. Thanks for the couple million. They're going to do terrible things with the money.
I paid somebody $100 worth of Hex to work on my truck back in January of last year. So they basically got 300,000 Hex plus big payday, and I staked it for them for like a year. So
damn,
they're happy as fuck.
I got a couple $1,000 for working on my truck that I paid them. $100 for. So needless to say, they're pretty happy.
Yeah. Do they understand the concept of it?
They got it over time. I mean, I explained it to them because we worked on a job together. So I was telling them about it like every day until they finally like, hey, how do I get more of this stuff?
Good.
Nothing like having the money printer being on the right side of inflation.
Yeah, do your own research, tell them.
Well, and I mean, that's kind of my philosophy with some of these wallets I've started. And keep in mind, like the original thought of all this is going to be Christmas presents for everyone. And then, I mean, for probably half of those people. And then it kind of grew from there with some other people and some employees and some others that I wanted to do. And I had some stakes that ended in March. And I think my cost basis on one of them was like $70. And I think when I cashed it out, it was just under $40,000. So, you know, when I look back at it and I'm like, okay, yeah, I gave away, you know, $3,000 worth of Hex at today's value. I mean, that cost me pennies, you know, comparatively. I mean, like what, $1? You know what I mean? So it's like I try not to look at it like what it's worth now, you know, because it's like I was fortunate enough to be one of those guys that was in on day 2 and was able to stake that and get the big payday and, you know, realize those gains. So I figure if I can pay it forward, you know, I'm not trying to be Hex Jesus over here. I know I got the beard and whatever, but it's like, you know, I get that I can't save the world, but I figure, you know, it's a better use of my funds than like, say, Facebook ads. I spent probably a similar amount of money, maybe $2,000 on Facebook ads. I got tens of thousands of clicks, maybe I think like almost 200,000 clicks or something. I didn't get a single AA referral bonus out of that, none. So as far as how many people are really brought into the sphere of Hex, I have no real way of knowing. So that seemed like a total, like just money out the window. This, I mean, I know for a fact that I got at least 100 grand put into Hex that wouldn't have been there otherwise had I not given those wallets out. So to me, I felt like it was a justifiable use of what ultimately was probably $100, if that, or not even, I mean, like $3, you know, of what I put in back in December of 19. And lots of hours of my time, which is not cheap. So I have indicated to people that, you know, I would be glad to discuss my schedule and rates for future consultations because some of these onboards have taken like no shit 10 or 12 hours of my time.
Wow.
Like on one person. And it's, yeah, so it gets a little exhausting and it's like, you know, we all have lives and jobs and other things going on, families. So, you know, you can't save everybody. I hear you, Liberty. You're absolutely correct. You got to kind of pick your ones, and maybe I'll be a little more selective with the ones that I think are actually going to like go, you know, ham and put some of their own money in and put their own time in to learn it. And I mean, like there's one in particular, and I mean, she understood T-shares in 2 weeks, like from never understanding any and not even knowing what Hex was. 2 weeks, she got T-shares. I'm like, holy shit. I'm like, this girl is on it. And, and she's put in probably 25 grand, in the last 2 weeks. So maybe 30. Yeah.
I never get the T-shares ever.
It's tricky, man. It's like sometimes I feel like I got it, and then sometimes I lose it, and then I have to think about it again. I'm like, okay, now I got it. But yeah, it's a little shadowy.
You don't realize it until you pay it, right? 1 year later, 8,000 hex per T-shirt to 17,700, something like that. Imagine what it's going to be years from the future, and now the dollar value's gone up too. So.
Same thing, guys. When was it, RG? When did we start talking T-shares? Was it June or May of 2020? I mean, it took us 5 months to figure out T-shares.
It was. I mean, we had Dev Kyle on. It was March. It was literally just a month into streaming, and we brought Dev Kyle in. I think it was March, and I wanted to learn more about T-shares because I knew that the secret to unlocking what Hex was all about was in the T-shares, and it always has been. And now, I mean, with the streams today, it's no, guys, it is about the T-shares, and here's why you need the T-shares. And the value of Hex is in the T-shares, and eventually the value of the Hex is going to be in the shares. So it shows you how valuable T-shares really are today.
What's the current T-share rate?
What's that?
What is the current T-share rate? Anyone know?
You mean in dollars or
17,300
or something? I don't know what the rollover was.
208.
But you still
17,208.
But if we're putting on
17,208.
If we're putting on a TV show, this is a TV show, right? We're putting on a TV show with an audience of 1,000 people. You have different levels of guys that are going to get it and people aren't going to get it. So you just got to bring them along slowly. Because I think half the time we bring on a new guest, I mean, you lose me, RG, when you explain T-shares, and I've been in this for 15 months, and I'm like, I'm confused.
I'm flattered now that I actually lose people with my explanation of T-shares. Unless I just confuse the shit.
I've been here 15 months. I have no idea what he's talking about. So,
I mean, the easiest way to explain T-shares, people, and there's probably people that are like, "What the fuck are these guys talking about anyway?" Is
some money printer.
is that's it. It's just the value in Hex is it's a proof of stake coin. I mean, we're making proof of stake versus proof of work, which proof of
that
work
means nothing to most people, though.
Bitcoin mining. Bitcoin is mined by people who run very, very expensive, data centers to create the network that is Bitcoin, and by doing so, they spend a lot of energy on electricity and equipment. And those people are the ones that make the Bitcoin and create the inflation of Bitcoin. And in Hex, the stakers do that by actually storing it away for years and years and years. The more years you store away, the more valuable your shares are, the more T-shares that you get, and the bigger your stake becomes when it does come of value. And I mean, that's kind of the way it is. It's like you're actually creating the network by staking versus mining. And it's the true proof of stake coin, which was my reason for even being into crypto. I understood Bitcoin one day as being irrelevant because of mining. I was like, this is not the way of the future. There's no way that this is going to be an efficient way of creating this cryptocurrency market. There's no way that this can outlast, proof of stake. Because as soon as I understood a little bit about what proof of stake was, I go, well, whoever is the person who actually captures proof of stake and makes it work for people, that's going to be the coin. That's going to be the ecosystem that does it. And damn it, Richard did it. And here we have the first true valued proof of stake coin that exists in cryptocurrency. And that's all it is it's a proof of stake coin versus a proof of work coin. And it's the future of crypto. It's where crypto is going to go. And they just haven't caught up with us yet. We're miles away from all of them. We've gone so far into the future beyond all of them that it's going to take them a long time to catch up.
I have an elevator pitch. Sorry,
yeah,
I
right.
have an elevator pitch for T-shares, and that's basically that they are little money printers that print free hex. That's it.
Now I understand that. I
Yeah,
understand
but
that.
how? But how? But how?
Oh, no
cares?
problem.
But the thing is,
we
didn't care. We didn't care. We were 5 months into it, and we had no idea what those were. All we knew is we were getting interest. We didn't know where it was coming from, but it was interest.
That's just it. When you see that number go up on the daily, when you're looking at your stakes all the time, and you're like, and that number just went up.
Yeah.
So if I make more of those shares, then it's going to go up more. Oh shit! Yeah, and that's what started the whole thing for all of us.
But then we were ready for it, though. We were ready for it. We're like, because we wanted more. We were like, we got past price predictions, and suddenly it was like shares and the brain, that whole brain explodes thing. And we've been talking about this for what, 6 months? It's been our main topic. Stack your T shares. Now we're talking pulses, but.
Excuse me, what's a T-share now? What is this?
Exactly.
It's a little money
golden goose.
That prints
the golden
free
goose.
Oh, I get it.
So
where do I buy one?
With our little shy shrimp wallet. So
hex.com.
Yeah.
All right.
Shrimp wallet. One day to be a squid. One day to be a squid.
One day to be a cool crab, man.
And most people don't realize that these T-shares are going to get so expensive. I mean, when Hex hits $1, if Hex was $1 today, each T-share would cost over $17,000.
Man, the dollar, you're freaking scaring me, man.
Yeah, that's crazy stuff.
That's going to be $17,000 per T-share when Hex hits $1 if it was today.
That's moonboy time.
It'll be here sooner than you know it, man. I mean, shit. Yeah. Remember when 1 penny was like a target and a goal, like when Hex first came out? It's like, man, now that's 352x later, or however many x later. I mean, $1 is not too far away from where we're at now, and we've even been consolidating where the price chart was in the past, and it seems to just keep consolidating and touching the over a penny price. And tell you what, man, it's bullish as hell. If we repeat the same the fractal that we did in April 2020, then we're going to be doing pretty well.
What's so weird?
Dropping, yeah.
This is a family show. I want you guys to quit talking about dollars, okay? This is
what's weird
is a family crypto show, and dollars is just absurd, and it's just you guys got to cut it out.
What's weird is in the real in the legacy financial world, in the financial planner world, I mean, we don't talk moon math. You're getting clients excited about 2% or 3% interest, or the stock market average is 10% a year. So like moon math, this is the only place where you hear moon math, and it's kind of like, wow, it's just so built in greed. It's exciting when it happens, but I'm just like, hey, one year Hex CD gets you 14%. Get in.
That's how I like to promote it. The 1 year,
and then they'll figure it out later. Okay, we'll do 5555. Do one. Send $200 into 5555, but let's get you some yield. Let's do a 5 year. That'll get you a little more than 15% interest, and then they'll figure it out. And then suddenly they want more, and then the greed kicks in. But like, I can't even talk to my clients in the real world. I go from talking about limiting risk and avoiding catastrophic loss, and hey, we're up 30% for the year. And then in the back, I'm snickering like,
if I can only really tell you.
If I could really tell them. Yeah, you just can't do it. You just bring them along, get them started, and let them figure it out in their own time.
Hey, Liberty, you answered your own question about T-shares just now. It's like you're telling your client that it's a CD that'll give them 14% in a year. So essentially, all a T-share is what's dictating the rate of that CD. That's it. So the more T-shares you have, the higher that rate effectively is.
That's right.
In a nutshell, that's it. The more T-shares you have, the more your return is going to be over time. That's what impacts that compound interest factor. So, like I was going through last night, I just poured through for hours because I've got about 70 stakes over the next 15 years. And I was going through, and I'd front loaded a ton. I think a lot of people did that because they weren't really sure what was going to happen. So I had some really, really short stakes, some stuff that ended before big payday even, and then some stuff that's been coming out recently. And I've got a fair amount that's coming out in the next few months, which sucks with the gas fees and stuff, but it is what it is. Luckily, they're relatively sizable, so it won't be that big of a hit, but still, I hate gas fees. And I was trying to look at it like, okay, well, how do I mitigate my T-share loss? Like that was my biggest thing. Like, okay, I don't intend to really liquidate any of that. I'll be restaking the principal and the interest on all of those. But I was trying to think to myself, it's like, well, how long, what's the math on this? It's like, this was a 15-month stake that I'm ending. So if I want to maintain those T-shares, how long, if I just stake the interest and the principal, do I have to stake that to maintain those T-shares? And it was working out on average about 4 to 5 years. So, over time, that's going to catch up to you. So eventually you're not going to be able to ever to hang on to your T-shares as your stakes end. And that's what makes those that 10 to 15 year gap so significant, because it's like you've got this locked in, and you're not getting a bigger bonus. Your effective hex is not going up from that period, but you have that rate locked for 5 more years, which is huge. Because someone was asking me about it today, and I was explaining them like, well, right now it's 17,000 hex for a T-share. What do you think it's going to be in 10 years? So even though that stake that you're putting in today for 10 years is going to be substantial, it might take every bit of that and the principal to get you less T-shares than you have in that stake right now. So, and I was showing them the math. It's like, this is going to be, tens of thousands of dollars is what this is projected to be worth in 10 years, this stake. And they're like, I'd have to put all of that back in just to have the same amount of T-shares. I'm like, yeah, it's very likely, and you'd possibly have to put more on top of it or stake it even longer. And at that point, it could be out of reach to where you'll never retain those T-shares. So it's
it's
definitely.
It could be 100,000 hex for one.
It's. Yep.
Here's a funny thought. I'm amazed at how the walls of skepticism inside of me are coming down before I even know that they existed now at this rate of evolution with hex. And the last hint of, or the proof that my past self was such an idiot is that front-loaded staking ladder. So it's good that you have that constant reminder, and you're constantly evolving, you're constantly pushing things out and giving people their knowledge ahead of time, so they're not such an idiot like I was back in the day.
Well, a lot of them still insisted on having a 6-month stake because they were just nervous. And then, like that one girl in particular, it was within 10 days. She was like, why the fuck did I do a 6-month stake? And I said, well, because you're like everybody else. It's like you're a little nervous and you want to try to get some gains quicker. And plus, it's like she had a good point. Like we talked about it a little bit. And with Pulse Chain coming and the Lex Friedman thing coming up and layer 2 on Staker, there's a lot of stuff that's going to pump the price. So theoretically, that 6-month stake might not be a horrible thing. If she wants a short-term flip and have some serious gains from that, and not have to be staring at a stake that's 5 years away that she can't touch. So, there's still a case to be made for some shorter stakes. But I think it just needs to be balanced,
And when she restakes, she can get more T-shares because she can go longer.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, you're
And
still
she
not
has-
out of the
What if
woods.
Ethereum pumps though?
Or inwards.
She has
Pardon?
the benefit too of knowing that it works. Like Toby One, you didn't know that it worked, right? You did a short stake because, is this thing gonna work? Get in the way, get in front of the wave and wait for the rug pull and get some. You know what I mean? We were all kind of like, even doing the Bitcoin free claim is like, I hope my Bitcoin's still there when I do this.
Hey, Liberty, you want to hear something really sad? Is that I scrambled to get my Bitcoin loose from Coinbase so I could do the free claim. And because there was a little bit of confusion over when the start date was, I missed it by a fucking day.
It wasn't that big. It wasn't that big.
It wasn't.
Like a
but
Bitcoin
still,
gave you 12,000. It was like
but still, it was so frustrating because I did all this bullshit to get it off of Coinbase and do all jump through the hoops to do shit that I'd not been familiar with before to get it off so I could claim it. And I'm like, fuck. It's like I missed it by a day.
Give me Liberty. You say it's not that much, but with that said, actually, I kind of looked at my free claim hex that I had received, and because that was staked for a whole year, I'm a day one OG, and that was staked for a whole year, so I got like the big payday attached to that. And I did the math, and as of with pricing at 1.8 or 0.018, it was worth like $8,000 now. I'm like,
but comparatively speaking to what you
Yeah.
bought in the AA,
no,
like we had no idea the AA was where it was at. You know, we were getting
Right.
our free hex, and I mean, just comparatively speaking. So in our shy shrimp wallets.
Yeah.
So.
Hey, who's
Hindsight
doing the
is
screen
20/20.
share?
I just wanted to put the chart up there and show everybody the pump that's going on right now.
Yeah,
Nice.
Discord
Wow.
Syndicate pump.
There it is.
Hey, RG, if you're feeling it, if I send you that spreadsheet, you want to throw it up?
Yeah, sure.
All right, hang on. Where do you want me to send it? On Telegram?
TG it, yeah.
So what I
Okay.
think is great is all the faces. I mean, I used to be much more active on these streams back in 2020, but like Markable, you're new to the thing. I mean, it's great to see your face. Brand's been around forever. Tim Benjamin, I've seen your name, never seen you on screen. It's just good to see all these guys that have come out of nowhere. Crypto, my favorite, Whales Only, even Kareem adds so much to the community, but we got to keep. There will be so many people we haven't even met yet that are going to come to Hex and are going to make a big difference. So,
Biggest
The
players
Knights.
haven't got in yet. Biggest
The
players
Knights of the
haven't got
Crypto
in.
Roundtable.
I mean, even the morning show, the Discord Syndicate morning show, I mean, you got faces that are becoming regulars. And you too, Papa Boner, you're all right.
Oh, yeah, fuck
You're
you
all
too,
right.
Liberty. I love you. You're my frenemy.
I'm going to visit you. So,
No,
but
he won't. He
it's
lives right next
growing.
door to me. He's never even visited me.
I know, right? And we have people though too that complain about streaming at the same time. It's some shows you watch, some shows you watch on record, and some shows you have no interest in watching. But that we all get our audiences, so I'm loving it. Just the community. I was trying to explain to my uncle earlier today on why Hex is doing great, and the community is a huge thing because I don't care how much T-shares are worth. If nobody cares about it, you'll have expensive T-shares and no price because no one will be buying it. So I think the community is one of the biggest things to keep this ball rolling for a long 150-year project, right?
And you know who has one of the best shows I feel is Matty Allen. Man, that guy is so freaking funny, man. His little
He's great.
Dude, and
That
do
guy
you
cracks me
remember
up.
Maddie? Do you remember Maddie just even a few months before the conference? He was so shy and kind of withdrawn. And I mean, he is just blossom. I mean, like as far as just like a transformation of like a Hexican character, that dude has like come out of nowhere. It's like he just seemed like so calm and collected and like this little nice long-haired psychologist guy. Obviously very, very smart. And then all of a sudden he's like this giant personality with like this great show. And it's like, yeah, I love Maddie. He's
I think we call it stream puberty. He's gone through that.
Well, I
He
thought
stepped up to the table.
I thought he was great in the movie Napoleon Dynamite when he played Kid. And then and his dad is Weird Al Yankovic. I mean, he's come a long way. So I love that guy. And I get my omega-3s. So
I
can't wait to meet him.
Working dude. I mean, he's been constantly as soon as we started talking about this meetup thing, I mean, he gets into something and just starts working. He just goes to work, and it's awesome to have people like that in the community because a lot of us don't have the time to actually put into everything that there is. I mean, like for instance, I mean, I got a whole freaking life outside of this, and I spend a lot of time streaming. I mean, fuck, this is 3 hours right here on a Friday night that I do it, and prepping for it, and talking to Knipples and freaking DC and Crypto King about our guests and doing all. There's a lot of time involved in all of this stuff, let alone trying to set up a meetup or whatever. It's a lot. It's a lot of work, and so my hat's off to everybody in the community that's putting into it because the value that we've added to the community, like Liberty says, is just. I mean, I think that the community deserves a lot of kudos for keeping Hex out in front of everybody and moving and shaking and actually growing. It would probably grow without us, but I mean, I think that we're keeping it in people's faces. I mean, we're sticking it in people's faces is what we're doing, really.
And we got to remember we're on the same side. I mean, we have so many people and our personalities are so, various. We're so different, and we're gonna clash. But as long as we remember, we're all on the same side. I mean, there's people that definitely bug me, but I still love them because we're all doing the same thing. But they're just not my personality guy, or girl or whatever. You know what I mean? But
he tells me every time he invites me out for lunch, he's like, I really don't like you, but hey, I'm just gonna.
I never said that.
I gotta love you, so come on over and have lunch with me.
Can I say something serious to that for a second?
No,
really.
Never
Okay.
said anything serious.
No. This is my dead serious message, and I love what Liberty your little spiel about everybody being varied is really cool, and different types of personalities. I just want to say to everybody, and I'm learning this as well. Always have patience and listen to each other. We're all Hexicans. The listening thing sometimes is lacking. So, ease up on the rhetorical questions, ease up on the does this make sense, and not really listening to what the answer is coming back to you.
Yeah.
Take time and hear different perspectives, please.
Well, people get their feelings
I was
hurt
expecting
too.
something vulgar to come out of your mouth there.
And penises, all penises. Everything's coming up penises.
Well, people get their feelings hurt too. It's like we get some good keyboard warriors that throw a lot of smack and stuff. But some of these guys are sensitive, and once they start dating girls and start getting rejected, they'll get used to what it feels like.
Skill picking up a bit, right?
Yeah.
Oh man!
But it's funny. I was talking.
I know a lot of these guys
to somebody.
didn't have game anyway, and now they've been off the on the COVID thing here for the last year and a half, so their game is like completely gone. Completely.
Oh God!
And now they have money.
I'm glad I'm not single. It'd be a horrible time to be single. God help you. But but what's interesting is like I was
wonderful time to be
much
single.
to Liberty's point about being in the diverse community. It's like definitely there's tremendous upside to that because we attract a large group of people that way because there's some that are going to gravitate toward what a Motley or a Coffee is going to say, and then there's somebody that's going to really jive with what Unwrecked Pirate's going to do. Or Kareem, or any of them, Maddie. It's like everyone's got like their favorites. It's like Brand's like top of my list. It's like I probably pay attention to Brand more than anybody, and then Maddie's up there, and you of course RG. RG's like I mean that's a given. I mean that goes without saying. This is the show I definitely watch more than any other, but Brand's right there, and Maddie. But everyone's got their favorites, and that's where they gravitate toward because they can relate, and it's good. But I was joking around with someone the other day because I ended up in a little bit of a beef myself on Twitter with a fellow Hexican that was. I think it was just a misunderstanding, and we squashed it, and it all worked out okay. And there were a couple simps that popped up that wanted to kind of, flex for the girl or whatever. I don't know what it was. It just seemed silly, and I went off on him for a minute, and I apologized, and we squashed it on it. All went okay, and then Vince chimed in because he's one of those sensitive guys. It's like he's a sweetheart, and Vince is amazing. It's like he's just a hard worker behind the scenes, good dude. So he and I were chatting a little bit after the fact because he kind of saw me, getting a smack for, something that maybe I didn't deserve a smack for. And I said, well, Vince, and then I felt funny saying it to him later because I thought this is maybe something he can't relate to. That maybe, I don't know. But I said, it's like you're at a party and it's 1987 and you're all doing coke and you all love each other. You never met before, but you're all best friends. All of a sudden,
bro, nobody's
like
that shit. We get back to 1987. Motherfucker, half of these people weren't born before that.
I know. Well, right, but we can relate. But it's like all of a sudden we're all best friends.
What's going on?
Yeah, we're all in the same. We're all in the same drug. We're all in the same drug. So it's like that unifies us to a degree. But, there are differing political views, spiritual, religious views. There's a lot of diversity. And it's like, I think in a weird way, the opiate of Hex has helped maybe be more tolerant to people's differences of opinion and, maybe give people a pass on something where they would lay into them a little harder otherwise. So, yeah, I mean, it feels like a family. It feels like a real world family, because it's like, who doesn't have beef with their own family?
There are differences with
with
every human being. Once you sit down and you start relating with somebody and you start talking with them and you're in a room by yourselves, where you'd start fighting each other on a tweet, you'd actually sit down and have more agreements than disagreements when it comes to human nature, and that's the bottom.
No, totally. Totally.
And you just learn that in life later. And this, I think the internet has separated people from the reality of that. And it's turned into this big troll war and fuck you and no fuck you and this tribalism shit. And then the internet's had a lot to do with it because it's so easy to sit your ass back behind a screen or a camera or a keyboard and talk shit. Get in front of somebody and talk shit for once and see how that goes for you.
And now get a backhander.
And see what happens then, and see how they call you out then. And, it changes when you're in front of folks. So, there's a whole different way of speaking when that happens. And I actually can't wait for those moments when we do get to finally go back into the world and we have these Bitcoin meetups, and that's going to be so much fun. I can't wait to get in front of folks and just listen to them talk, and we can actually speak reality to one another. And, when you're staring somebody right in the face, they have a different opinion of you at that point.
I love having real talk with RG, and it's just me and RG.
Yeah, we have some good ones, don't we? Crazy one. This motherfucker crazy right here. This motherfucker crazy.
And ladies and gentlemen, homosexuality is okay. It's okay. It's very accepted. It's fine. The love between two men is a beautiful thing.
Let's just say when me and RG are on stream, we are very civilized. But when we're driving in a car for an hour and a half, oh man, I thought I was gonna.
It all comes out. Well, yeah.
Get to know someone within 90 minutes, man. Shit.
I almost pulled this motherfucker over on the side of the road a couple of times, just whoop his ass and left him there.
It's true.
Oh, God.
No,
I normally don't hang out. I normally don't hang out afterward for the green room, but maybe tonight I'll hang out for a minute.
Yeah, that's where we've had some really good talks in the green room, and a lot of people have let shit fly. Like I always keep politics, sports, religion, and shit out of our streams because that's stuff that people just don't agree on that shit, and that's just the way it is, and that's where the stupid differences is in those things. Right. And if you don't talk about those things, then you can agree on all the other stuff more than likely. And
absolutely.
And that's why I keep it out of here because there's no call for none of that shit. But the green
people just embody that shit. They just they identify it as it's who they are as opposed to a belief they hold. So as soon as you try to attack that belief, and even if it's not an attack, you're just questioning it, then man, they just dig in. It's like you're attacking them personally. And it's like, no, it's not you. I'm just trying to talk to you about this belief you hold so we can have a discussion about it. And it's just funny, man. It's like those things you mentioned, religion, politics. It's like, those are the ones that you just it's a tricky, especially online, it's like trying to date somebody over text, good luck with that. I did that shit when I was single, and it's like, it was just amazing to me. I hadn't been single in a number of years, and all of a sudden I'm 40 years old. I find myself single, and nobody wants to talk on the phone. I'm like, can we just pretend like it's 1997 and have a fucking conversation? It's it's just all over text, and everything gets misinterpreted, and it's just so much more fucking complicated. And then you try to talk about anything heavy, anything with any complexity to it over, through a keyboard. Good fucking luck.
You can go. You can actually go to the person, right?
Yeah. Okay. Right. It happens. It does. Yeah.
I'm just checking.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe you see a relationship as just calling.
No. Well, I mean, if they're if they're far away,
30 cents.
The United States is very big. So if you're dating with somebody, states away, you might not have that opportunity. So it's like a phone call works. But if they insist on texting, then it's just like, what the fuck? But hey, RG, did you get that spreadsheet?
Oh, you know what, dude? I can't. The Google Doc thing is not.
I hate fucking Google Docs.
I do too.
You know what? I'll figure out a way to send it to you as Excel, and then maybe another stream.
Dude, you can share your screen.
What's the gist of it? What's the gist of the thing you're sending?
The gist of it's basically
it's a spreadsheet that lets you put your stakes in there to kind of test your stakes and see where what they look like.
Yeah, it essentially takes into consideration a predictive model that's based a little bit off the Monte Carlo model that Dev Kyle talked about, and then Brennan had used originally. And then his spreadsheet was just like such a deep dive. And I mean, I loved it because I'm a spreadsheet guy. But for most people, I think they would just glaze over. So I just whittled it down to just the bare bones of like what you really want. And it's like, you know, hey, what's your start date? What's your end date? What's your principal? How many T-shares are you going to get for that? And then everything else is formulaic, and it takes it out and it says, okay, at the end of that stake with the predicted interest that you should accrue during that period of time and the predicted price at the end of that stake, this is what that's likely to be worth. And then when you do it that way, and then you put the same size stake for 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, 15, and then look at them in a row, then you're like, holy shit. It's like, it's a no-brainer. And when you're deciding between 2 and 5 years, it's kind of hard to wrap your head around when you're just talking about it. I'm a show me guy. It's like, I might as well be from Missouri. It's like, fucking show me, you know? So it's like, if I have it in black and white and I can quantify it, then that's what clicks for me. And like Brennan's spreadsheet, Brennan is what gave my staking ladder form. Prior to that, it was like fucking just hurling hex into the future, and there was no rhyme or reason. Yeah. I didn't understand T-shares yet. I was focused on that 10,000x, you know, that Richard was talking about from the beginning, and I didn't really understand the whole interest concept. RG3 brought Dev Kyle on. That lit some things up for me to make me understand a little better. And then right around that time, Brennan shared his spreadsheet with me, and I'm like, holy shit. It's like, I need to restructure this whole thing. Yeah. You know, I need to do this differently.
The only thing about, you know, speculation is just that it's speculation. I mean, the tool is to an extent works, but I mean, there's still a lot of variables in there that will change or skew that number. Not a lot. I mean, Hex is going to do what it's supposed to do. It is
the one thing that I added to that sheet, because initially I looked at it and I'm like, holy shit, it's like, this looks bonkers. It's like, how could I be a billionaire? That's fucking absurd. It's like, that doesn't make any sense to me that I could potentially be a fucking billionaire from this, right? And so I started looking at it a little more closely, and I floated it to a couple guys that I talked to in voice chat that were also working on predictive models. And now that we have a bigger data set to work from, when we do that, there's actually a second version of that sheet I can send you, RG. But the sheet that's on there, if you look at the second tab, there's like a graph that just kind of turns into like a J curve up as that 555 goes on out. And that's the hex per T-share per day, to where it really starts to ratchet up, especially after about the 10-year mark.
Yeah,
and that's possible. That's possible. However, it seems unlikely to go that hard. But that doesn't mean that there's not still huge gains to be had. But the thing that I like about the original spreadsheet is that the price appreciation prediction is showing between now and 15 years that it peaks at $1. So that seems really low to me. So if you take that, so maybe the interest is overstated, but if the dollar amount is understated, it kind of balances it. And from where I had those stakes that were coming out in those first 15 months, that sheet was fucking almost dead nuts. Like when I would get to the end of those stakes, I'm like, holy shit, that's where we are. That's how much interest I earned. And that's pretty much where the price is. I mean, it was like insane. And then that's where I went from being a guy that put in 10 to putting in, you know, hundreds, you know.
Nice.
So, but yeah, when you see that, and I mean, especially with the onboards, it's like I show them that, game over. It's like as soon as they see that, like, oh my God. And I'm like, hey, these are predictions. Things can change. More people can stake. That interest rate can drop. You know, the price can go down. But the thing is, too, the one thing that I added to that spreadsheet that wasn't there previously is I added an additional column where you pick the price. So instead of it just being the predictive model of it gradually going up to $1 over 15 years, you can say, hey, well, what's the situation if this price never breaks 2 cents? So you can literally enter in 2 cents in one spot, and it'll plug in 2 cents for every stake you got. And it'll say, okay, if it just stays flat for fucking ever, and it's 2 cents, how does that play out? And it's still, because of how that interest accrues, unfucking real gains. I guarantee you, any of you that look at it will be like, holy shit, this is like even better than I thought.
Can I see that? Is that going to be in like the
Yeah,
private
sure.
chat?
Hit me up on Telegram. Like anybody in the chat or anybody on stream that wants to see it, it's like I'll send you a copy of it. And I've
See if
got
you
two
can get
copies. I've
another
got one that's a
copy
little more
because
conservative, and then I've got one that's like the original.
Yeah, the one
Cool.
that I'm pulling on Google Chrome is not. I cannot get it to come up, man. So if you can,
Yeah, if you got like a Dropbox or something, I can send you Excel. I hate fucking Google Chrome. I hate it. Or not Google Chrome, Google Drive, Google whatever the fuck, like Google Sheets. It's like, I don't know. I just worked with Excel so long and it's so second nature to me. And it's Google Sheets is just clunky and it's weird to navigate. And it's like, you can't cut and paste. Seriously, you got to do Control C, Control V to cut and paste. It's like, it's 2021. What the fuck? But yeah, I mean, I'm telling you, you play around with it, you're going to want to go buy more Hex and stake it.
And you're going to want to stake it longer than 10 years when you see the gains.
Exactly.
Because what the exponential growth, even though you don't get a longer bonus after the 3641, you get exponential growth after that because of the ratcheting of the share rates. It's just the compounding at that point is just like that's where you get that parabolic move on your shares is after year 10 and that 10 to 15. Right. So that extra 5 years, man, is just insane.
Well, I'll tell you, like the one that I'm looking at right now, it is, let's see, is that it? Yeah, these are all, is that the one?
I think new people coming in just got to let it cook for a year because it's all relative.
Yeah.
Right. What we did when we got 1.8 million for one ETH in the adoption amplifier, it sounds great now, but someone like the girl I talked about today with the $500, I mean, 25,000 Hex could be something incredible in a year from now.
Oh yeah.
So it's all relative. It's relative. Yeah. Hey, RG's Crypto King in the chat's asking if someone can describe how Staker is used to buy Hex without using ETH. He's asked the question a couple times. I don't know if you want to field that.
I can answer that.
I don't know the system that they're using well enough to explain it, but it has something to do with batching the transactions so that they can save on the fees. So I don't know how it works, to be honest. But
my answer is you just turn US dollars to USDC. You send USDC to Staker app, and then you say you want to pay your fees with USDC, and then you go straight to Hex. And you could do the same thing when you stake the Hex. You can just indicate.
It allows you to switch to whatever currency you want to pay.
You want to use Hex, ETH, or USDC to pay your transaction, and it just works.
Yeah, and obviously the easiest way to kind of mitigate some of your costs on that, if you can get Hex elsewhere, whether it's MetaMask or wherever that you procure your Hex, then send the Hex to Staker app and stake it, and then that way you're not paying a fee to swap for Hex and then another fee to stake the Hex.
That's right.
So that would be, but if that's not comfortable for them, then effectively right now, and I know they're looking on a direct fiat to Hex on-ramp. They're working on that. Steph talked about it in chat the other day. I need to be like Maddie and just start recording those conversations because there's really some gems in there. And I'm hoping that they update their facts section so that'll be more readily available. But they're working on doing that. But as it stands now, you use Transact with a debit card. You can buy USDC or ETH, but then at that point you have to convert that to Hex. You have to swap it for Hex within the app, which is a fee, and then at that point you're ready to stake, which is a second fee. So if you can get Hex if you can get Hex elsewhere and send it to your Staker app, you're going to save yourself a fair amount of money. And if you're doing multiple stakes, it doesn't, then you're going to save even more. So if you're going to do a staking ladder of 10 or 12, you send in 100,000 Hex, whatever. You want to break it up into 10 stakes. It's going to be cheaper than trying to do it. Well, not cheaper. It's going to be just a hair more expensive than if you do it individually through go.hex.com, but it's going to save you a lot of time. So if it's smaller dollar amounts, maybe not as cost effective. If you're $10,000 plus, I think it's a viable option.
It was awesome. RG3 talked me into selling a Bitcoin, and I sent it over to Staker. And then I talked to Firebun to create a drop down where I could say, I want 3 steaks, 5 years apart, 15 years long. So it made it really easy just to say, I want these 3 things. It cost me $200 for the whole transaction. Got 3 very large steaks in my Shy Shrimp wallet, just split over 15 years. So it's just, it was pretty darn easy. So you're right. $200 I heard was the max fee for a multi-steak, but you can say, I want them every 2 years for 14 years, or I want them every 3 years for 15 years. You figure out, and then you can't really make the date that you want, because I kind of had the dates in mind that I wanted in 2036, but you just get what pops up, and you're like, okay, kind of went away from my pattern. But it's it was just, thanks RG3.
It's very convenient. It's convenient, and and you pay for convenience. So it's like, once they get the gas fee situation under control, I think it's going to be great. And like I was saying earlier, I think it's a sleeper. As soon as they get that gas fee situation handled, all of those backlog of wallets are going to hit, and we're going to fucking moon. It's like, I'm not a moon boy. It's like, I'm not a moon guy.
You just said we're going to fucking moon.
Well, I know, but I'm just saying, I'm typically not. So that's why this should hold extra weight. It's like, when think about it. If you got tens of thousands of wallets that all of a sudden can transact for pennies, why the fuck wouldn't they get in, even if they've only got $50? They're going to do it, but right now there's a barrier to entry, and it's the cost. But hey, just for shits and giggles, it's like, I pulled that spreadsheet up on my end, and just for an example of like a 30,000 hex stake, if you were going to stake that today, our current price, I know it's gone up a little bit. We were at 168 earlier, so I figured a price of about 165, about $500 for 30,000 hex. So if you were going to do that for 1 year, that would get you 2.09 T shares. So with this predictive model, the interest that you would earn on that 30,000 hex in a year is about 6,000 hex. And that would put you at about 36,000 hex at the end. They're predicting a price at the 1 year point of just under 10 cents. So that stake should be worth approximately $3,500. So that's 1 year. Now that same exact stake, 30,000 hex, if you jump out to 5 years, same exact stake, instead of getting 2.091 T shares, you're going to get 3.49 T shares. That same exact stake that was going to jump up to 3,500 for you is now, because not only has the interest jumped, you're going to end up making 100,000 in interest approximately with that particular predictive model. There's another model that I have that's a little more conservative. They're predicting a price at that point at the 5 year mark of about 37 cents. That makes that particular stake $48,000. Wow. So same stake, 1 year, 500 turns into 3,500.
But again, there's a lot of variable
turns into
numbers
50 grand. What's that?
But again, there's a lot of variable numbers in there.
Well, certainly. If the stake, and if the staking rate goes up, to where you have more people in there, then you're not going to be earning that 38 to 40% APY. So that's a factor. But then again, that's going to be offset by what? Price appreciation. Because if you have more people stake, that's going to put a squeeze on the supply, which is what Richard has said when I've pressed him on it. Like, well, what if more people stake? And if we're assuming 60 to 70% of it's owned by the OA and 10% is currently staked, that only leaves 20 to 30% out there floating for traders and degens or people that are just holding and don't understand staking. So if all of those people stake, there would literally be nothing to buy. So where would the price go? As soon as someone ends a stake and there's something that's liquid for a minute, that price is going to absolutely go apeshit. So whatever your price, whatever your interest rate is going to drop is going to be more than offset by that impact price. So that's where it's like, I'm pretty confident with these. There's another one that I'll send you that's a little more conservative on that hex per T-share per day rate that brings those numbers down, but still they're ridiculous. It's like, and I was using that sheet and I'm looking at it. I'm like, okay, the stake was $70. There's no fucking way the stake is going to be worth 40 grand in March. Brennan, are you out of your tree? And he goes, Toby, this is fucking conservative.
Well, Toby,
and sure as shit, when I cashed that stake, it was 39 7K.
Toby,
And
maybe
it cost me
I can bring
$70.
your moon math back to Earth. I've been working on a mathematical formula with a price prediction. Is it all right if I share my screen?
Yeah, please.
All right. So.
Oh, thanks, Toby.
And if you have any calculus, do some calculus too, Brasology, while you're at it.
Yeah, no, haters are gonna say that this is fake.
Let me fix this here. There you go. Go ahead, Toby.
Oh no! Come on now! Come on! I'm not worthy. I'm not worthy.
So, I've been I went on Nomics. So I'm sharing my screen. I went on Nomics and I got like early price data. And the earliest price data from Nomics is point.
Let me zoom in. Is that his private seat up top?
No, no. This is.
Stop giving him heart attack.
So the earliest price point on Nomics is 0.000499, and Hex is designed to do 10,000x in 2.5 years. So. My prediction is by June of 2022, we should be at $4.99.
Right. It's entirely possible.
Your moon math.
You heard it here first.
But now, hey, Briz, check this out. Because I'm the crazy guy that kept track of every single stake and what my cost basis was on them. I've got a stake that's yet to come out that I started in December. It was December 23rd. My cost per hex was 0.000118. So it's a quarter of that. So if you go back to that and do your 10,000x, then you're about $1.10.
What would you rather have? $1.10?
I'd rather have $4.
So
I'd rather have,
of course, but still $1 in 2 years. I'm happy with $1 in 2022. I'm thrilled with that. But I'm just saying my moon math is predicting only like what did I say, 37 cents in 5 years. So the thing that's a little moony about the one that I'm using currently is that the hex per payout per T-share per day thing, it ratchets up pretty rapidly, and I don't know how realistic that is. And I mean, it's like obviously there's a lot of moving parts and things can change. I would love to hear Dev Kyle's opinion on where he thinks that
he's run 100 of these scenarios. I mean, he literally there's so many. That's why I always say this is all just mental masturbation, because Dev Kyle has literally there is a range that is of variables that is he ran so many different variables that it's impossible to really predict or sit there and say, okay, well, this is what it's going to look like. That's just all mental masturbation. I mean, really,
well, I mean, you can do a scatter, but I mean, even with multiple concurrent simulations, you can do a scatter plot of that and get a pretty good predictive process. So I mean, and literally what that thing that you have in front of you was based off of that Monte Carlo method that he originally started with. Now I know that he's backed off of that since then. And I've talked to Brennan about it a little bit, and it's like, we haven't kind of come to terms on what it should be. But from talking to, I believe it's like Trevor, and I think it's Agent 007 or something, like a couple other guys that I talked to in voice chat that are up all into this stuff and are like next level mathematician people. They're looking at my sheet and they shared some stuff of theirs with mine. And it's my second one that is a little less moon mathy. Still puts you at some ridiculous numbers. I mean, like a $500, like on the other one, I mean, hell, I'll just look at it. On the other one, that's less moony. That same exact stake in 5 years, I believe, puts you at oh no, actually, you have the less moony one. The one that I told you first was the less moony one. The moony one puts a $500 stake in 5 years at $84,000. So between the two models that I'm using, it's a range of from $48,000 to $84,000 in 5 years for a $500 stake today, which sounds crazy.
That's good.
It sounds crazy, but the key is, if I have one that I can literally do a screen grab and show you right now, and hell, look at RG smiling up there. He's got the same shit. He knows what I'm talking about. He's probably got a stake that was from day 5, that was $15-$20. That was, you know, 20 grand, you know, in March. Look at him. He's twitching. So it's, yeah.
No, that's
so I
his
mean, if
face.
that can happen, why in the world could it not continue to happen? Right?
Yeah. I mean, of course. We just don't know.
I mean, not financial advice. I'm not trying to say, you know, this is any kind of guarantee, but it's like everything points to this being fucking monumental. And it's like, I mean, I think that everybody in here that is at least a squid at this point is going to be a millionaire within 5 years.
That's funny.
I mean,
But not
I could be
financial
wrong, you
advice.
know?
So
Not financial advice. I'm just saying that's what I'm predicting. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm not advising people to do that. You know, I've made my personal choices. It's turned out very, very well for me thus far. And yeah, so I mean, we'll see. You know, I mean, we can do a pool. We should do a pool. That's what we ought to do. And we should pick a price. We should pick a T-share price, and we should pick a Hex spot price a year from now, and do a little gentleman's bet on it and see where we come in.
And a daily payout prediction.
The real question is,
yeah, there you go. The daily, that's the one. Really, more than anything, that daily payout prediction's the one.
Toby, like the real question has to be what does $1 million buys us in 5 years? Like, are we going to buy a Lambo, or are we going to buy a Corolla with $1 million?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Corolla money or Lambo is the difference between linoleum and marble.
Well, here,
pay your
here's something too.
$1 million.
RG3 can speak to this, and it's like I was pretty young. I think RG3 might have me by a couple of years, but my dad was in the land development and home building business in the 70s when the interest rates went to absolute dog shit, like 22% for a home loan, right? Inflation was ridiculous. It was out of control. But, you know, and I'm sure Liberty, with his history of finance, can tell you as well, you know, all that stuff did get reined in relatively quickly. You know, so I mean, I don't think that we're going to end up like Venezuela, where we're going to have to use a wheelbarrow full of money to buy a loaf of bread. It's like, I don't think that that's realistic. I think it's all relative. You know, as long as the U.S. dollar is, I mean, everybody's doing the same shit around the globe. So the thing that gives me confidence, and Liberty could probably speak to this better than anyone being in finance, as long as we are the best turd in the heap, then we are going to be all right.
Will the Fed bring someone like Paul Volcker though? Will they go back to that? Because I don't think they're going to raise no interest, not on 20 whatever trillion dollars.
No, they can't.
Right?
They can't. No, not for a while. It's going to be a minute. So, and there's a lot of moving parts too. I mean, AI is coming along. That's going to change the workforce tremendously. Like in my business, the freight industry is going to really be impacted when, you know, Elon gets his automated semis going. That's going to be fucking riots in the street, if you ask me. But it's, you know, there's a lot of things that are on the cusp of happening. It's like tech is changing a lot of stuff, and then that UBI thing is going to fucking rock some people's worlds too. But it's going to be a really big shift in, you know, how people view, you know, quality of life and self-worth, and, you know, how you identify yourself. Because so much of it, especially as a man in the United States, is, you know, what kind of living you bring in, you know, what kind of money you make. And that's going to shift, you know, because it's not going to be necessarily about the money anymore, because everyone's going to get a living stipend. And then it might be something else that kind of you have to shift into to feel satisfied in what you're doing with your life. But we'll see.
Just for the record, I refuse to talk about the economy on stream.
which is a good thing. Because it's another one of those things that, you know,
right.
It's just a divider, and everybody has their own opinions of it, and, you know, nobody knows, because again, it's full of fucking variables. It's full of variables.
Right.
The only thing
I'm a silver lining guy too. You know what I mean?
Economy.
History's in cycles.
I'm a silver lining guy. I can't, you know, it's hard for me to, I don't see the value in going down the dark paths. I mean, to a varying degree, you know, to keep people accountable and hold their feet to the flame to do the right thing. But until you're ready to run for office, I mean, it's a lot of jacking off in your closet, you know, unless you're going to get out there and you're actually going to do it, and you're going to like try to implement some real change in a systemic way, then, you know, you're wasting everybody's time, and you're just listening to yourself talk.
Wait, what part of the United States are you from? Because that jacking off in the closet line, I never heard that one before.
I think it's a Catholic thing. I mean, you're Jewish, right? So maybe it's a Catholic thing. I don't know.
Yeah, well, whatever. We got much worse ones than the Jewish.
Now, here we go to religion now. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, no, not that.
Amen.
You had
Like,
to say that on Good Friday. You're gonna
I'm just
piss
saying it
everybody
has
off
to do with the Catholic guilt, you know. the shame.
Passover.
It is
He'll be
Passover,
one.
yeah.
So something,
Shalom.
an
Happy
update I have to
Pesach.
make. I have to make an update. I've been telling everybody that the Cash App on ramp to Atomic Wallet swapping over to Hex has been a really good deal. I did run into a problem just recently with Atomic Wallet where they actually held on to my transaction for 3 days before they switched my BTC buy over to Hex. So just a buyer beware on the Atomic Wallet. I don't know why that happened. I sent in a trouble ticket. I wanted an explanation, and they haven't got back to me yet. But my transaction did go through, and they did send me a little "we apologize" or whatever. I don't know what that was all about, but they held my funds. Atomic Wallet did for 3 days. So anyway. Wasn't happy about that. So far, it was a good tool. I was loving it because you were able to just move right into BTC, switch BTC over. Fees were very, very minimal, and it was working swimmingly until just this last weekend where I did a little buy and it didn't work out. So anyway, just letting everybody know about that.
Hey, when I heard you mention that the other day, and I looked into it, I just I didn't go deep, but it's like I was looking at the Cash App. To see, where you can buy Bitcoin and whatnot, but it's like the next step with the Atomic Wallet thing. I'm kind of lost at that. Is that through Cash App or is that a secondary wallet?
Atomic Wallet is a completely separate wallet. You go and you get an Atomic Wallet, and what it does is I think that the name Atomic was Atomic Swaps thing when that was a thing.
Got it.
And what it does is it literally lets you swap your Bitcoin for Hex or your Bitcoin for Ethereum or whatever. You can just swap over any of the cryptos that they have in there over to the other.
And the rates,
tons.
So not the fees, but like the exchange rate is like legit with what's going on in the real market.
Yeah, it's really comparable. It's not bad.
Wow. Okay.
But
cool. Well,
like I said, I had my fees held up for a few days.
Hold up for 3 days.
Yeah, that wasn't good, but that was the first time that happened. That was the first time that happened. And if it would have meant something, if I was trading and I needed to move that or whatever, I would have been very angry. But it was really just a buy. I just wanted to get some more Hex, and I'm just kind of like moving a little bit of little funds every week, just kind of flowing into just to keep DCAing in.
Right.
And I've been using it, but that little holdup kind of pissed me off a little bit because I've been talking to everybody about how good a tool it is, and I don't want anybody to get stuck in that situation where they were expecting to have that buy go through and it gets hung up for a few days. So please, buyer beware on that, and realize that did happen to me. It has been working good for the last couple months, but just recently I did have a little hiccup. So I wanted to
that similar happened to me with the Matic thing. It's like I had some money over there on that LP, and it was not a small amount. And then I saw Hexo freak out, and then that got me nervous because I'm like, man, I'm certain, because I was moving stuff back and forth, fairly regularly, and I thought for sure I had done one earlier that day, and I guess I hadn't. It'd been like the day or two before, and then I tried to move mine, and I'm like, oh shit. And then luckily he told me about having to like back down to V1, and then it went through. But it was like 2 hours where I was kind of sweating because it was like it was not a small amount of money. So it was a little nerve wracking where it's just kind of like, your money's in limbo and you're hoping and praying that it goes where you want it to go. And luckily I got out of that shit before the Hex pump. But, I went over there and played around for a little bit. It was not profitable. I think LPs in general, I don't know how deep you guys have talked about LPs. I don't know a whole lot about them. That was my second foray into LPs, and it's like I have not ended up faring very well. I haven't got wrecked, but I know people did on that quick swap thing because it's like, it was $500 a quick and then took a shit. So, if people were in there for a large amount of money from that point, I'm sure that they suffered. But I took a little bit of a hit and then liquidated everything. And then I had my 15 minutes of fame. I guess Rock mentioned me on Nerd Girl's stream because I got into a little bit of a beef over on the Quick Swap Telegram. It wasn't really a beef.
Well, you got about an hour worth of fame here tonight, so keep going, buddy.
Oh, I'm catching up for lost time, man. Sorry.
Obviously.
I'm highly caffeinated. I drank some coffee before I got on. So I was afraid that Kareem was going to be on here. I had to brace myself with some caffeine or I would never get a word in. And then I need to come on early when you guys are all jazzed. You're all fading out and I'm just ramping up. So, but I appreciate the airtime, man. It's always fun talking to you guys. And I got a lot to say.
That's good.
Yes, you do. Yeah, there is no doubt that you don't.
I'm passionate about it, man.
Well, here we are at close to 4 hours, and I am getting ready. Anybody got anything pressing that they want to bring up? Any FN Hangout that they want to talk about real quick before we Papa B, you shaking your head? You got something? No. Liberty, Timmy, good seeing you, bud. Markable, always good to have you on. A day.
Hey, can I tease something? Can I tease something?
By all means.
The Hex video that I've been talking about for fucking ever since November, we are actually within like 2 weeks. So we got a teaser trailer coming out. I got like a pro on it that's coming together. It's really, really cool. RG, you might be surprised to see yourself in the teaser. It's pretty fucking awesome. So we got a little teaser trailer for the video. The music video is coming out shortly after. We're looking at doing some work with Freddie Quotes in the future to do some music video stuff that's super fucking exciting. And then all that'll help kick off the Hex 101 with Toby 1 that I've also been talking about for months. Literally, I'll have a syllabus I'll be posting soon. It'll be just a basic, like, newbie, soup to nuts. What is Hex? How to get into it. And then there's some great stuff that Crypto Coffee's putting out. I don't know if you guys have seen any of that yet. Really cool course that he's put together. Next level. I mean, it's like basics, but like goes deeper and really, really well put together. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but keep an eye out for that. And props to all you guys, for just, fighting the good fight. I see you out there slugging it out on Twitter and keeping up the voice chats on Telegram and on here and RG3, man. It's like hats off to you. It's like, I mean, everybody owes you a debt of gratitude for like all you've done for this community. So I really appreciate all you guys. And I always appreciate my time here.
Thank you. Appreciate it. I want to update that. Thanks, bro. I appreciate the kind words. David Gonzalez, with Atomic Wallet, you 100% own your own keys. Yes, and I do understand that. The reasons for the delay was a delay in the front end syncing issue. Your funds were never in danger. I never thought they were in danger. They were just hidden for a few days, which, for me, it wasn't a big deal. I put in a trouble ticket. I pressed them on it, and they answered me. They did respond. We're working on it. Don't worry. Your funds are okay, blah, blah, blah. So they were responsive, and it did resolve itself, and I didn't lose anything, and I got the exact price I paid for my swap, and everything was well. But what I did want to warn everybody about was that it did have an issue, and there was a few days where it was hung up. But I wasn't in danger of losing funds, and I didn't think I was. And yes, the wallet is where you own your own keys, and that's the only type of wallet I will have. So anyway, everybody, thanks for coming on. Appreciate you all. FN Hangout again, another one down. You guys rock, and we'll see you on Monday. I think Monday. Do we have a guest on Monday?
Oh, RG. One more thing. I just remembered. I love all Hexicans. I love them all, except for Markable. I only like him.
Dude, I just wanted to say Papa B for president, but never mind. Never mind. I just wanted to end with that, but I'm okay now. RG for president.
I like all of you, and I love Markable. You guys, man, have a great rest of the weekend. Keep on doing it.
Outro.